back to the channel. I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. I have a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Professional Writing, and Master's degrees in Public Administration and Criminal Justice. And you're welcome on the channel for your positivity and uniqueness. It is Monday. It's another live stream. On Mondays, I do live streams at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Fridays, I stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturday and Sunday, I also do those live streams for you guys starting between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Monday live streams, when I'm in the house, it's mostly dedicated to trivia. So it's Monday, so we are going to have a trivia day. I like to wait a little bit before I jump right in and ask you guys trivia questions because I know some people who may really enjoy these live streams may take a while for them to join, but glad you guys can be here nonetheless. Hopefully you guys had a great day today. In New York, I don't think it was actively snowing today, but it was still really cold outside, so I did not go outside at all. I know I was supposed to go to the gym today, but I woke up and my mom was like, it's too cold, she doesn't want to go. So we did not go. We will resume with the gym this coming weekend. Hey Gigi Cat, also known as Cats and Pokemon, how are you doing today? You just got some work done. Okay, nice. And you wanted to relax, so this is perfect timing. All right, nice, nice. Oh yeah. And I remembered that most people, they don't even work today, right? Because most states have canceled, what is it, work and etc. So yeah, we don't really have to wait long to jump into trivia. But I would love to know what you eat today. What did you do today, Cats? Did you go outside, even though it was probably really cold, or was it a chill day inside for you? So I'm gonna, as always, pull up some trivia questions and answers. If at any point in time you think an answer is incorrect when I tell you the correct answer, let me know, because I discovered I was rewatching some of my trivia videos that I did particularly last week for some of the topics. Like if the website was telling me it was correct, but it was the wrong answer, right? So always fact check. Uniquely Me is what I'm saying, and always fact check other people in your life, right? Remember, on live streams in particular, everything we say can be incorrect except for those small nutritional YouTube videos, education videos that's supported by research. But let me see. So, is there any type of trivia topics that you guys would like to discuss today? Or would like me to ask you questions on? I know anatomy was really cool. Psychology was some cool ones. Since it's so cold outside, I wanted to throw in like some, I don't know, questions about the cold, if that makes sense. I don't know, snowstorm questions. We'll see if we can find any like that. But yeah, so for all the people who's on the stream, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, if you are a new viewer here, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The algorithm knew that you want to be part of a community where you are welcome for your positivity and uniqueness. So I recommend the channel to y'all. Make sure to like the video, subscribe so you never have to leave. Welcome, welcome, love positive. Financial questions. Hey Jason, how are you doing today? Glad you could be here. We could do some financial questions. Okay, you're just getting around the world. Hopefully you have a fabulous day. Have you heard of King of the Weather? Yes, yes, I've definitely heard of King of the Weather. Oh, have I heard from King of the Weather? They were on stream yesterday, so that was the last time we received a weather report from King of the Weather. But yes, it's awesome that you're greeting us from around the world. What part of the world are you in currently? Hello, hello, Vlad. Glad you could be here. How are you doing? Your name is also Mia. You have an awesome name. Awesome name. Shout out to your parents. They gave you a really cool name. So welcome, welcome, fellow Mia. All the Mias have to band together, as the saying goes, right? So like the video, subscribe, Mia. Today is trivia. I like to ask trivia questions. And trivia is fun, so we learn things together via trivia. And one of the foundational components of the channel is the educational aspect. Hey D, how are you doing today? Hi, do women like the Power Rangers? I don't know. You're asking about all females. I don't know all the females in the world, so I really don't know. D, perhaps some females like the Power Rangers, some may not. Do you like the Power Rangers? Hey, Cat said, I did not leave the house at all this morning. Okay, you did some cleaning. Okay, this afternoon you recorded, okay, recorded and scheduled. Oh, some YouTube videos. Okay, YouTube Shorts, nice. And then you'll finish submitting some of your missing admission material. Okay, cool, cool, very cool, very cool. So, oh yeah, you did say you were applying to like going back to school, Cats. What are you planning on going back to school for if you're comfortable sharing? But welcome back, everybody. So let me find some trivia questions. We were requested to do like some financial topics. So yeah, let's see. Okay, I should really start pulling these up before the stream. Honestly, that would probably be much more easier. But we got some. So, welcome everybody. Let's get started with the trivia. And as always, if you guys want to ask me a question, right? If you want to ask me a question related to something completely different, feel free to do it. We can multitask, right? We can definitely have questions related to specific topics for trivia, and we can talk about something else simultaneously. Hey, Claudia, how are you doing today, Claudia? Glad you could be here. It's been a while since you've been on the stream. Very welcome back, welcome back. Okay, Kat said they want to get a degree in radiology so I can be radiology tech. Okay, very nice, very nice. Cool, Cats. So awesome. Shout out to you for even like thinking about doing that and submitting the material, right? So that's really, really amazing. And I wish you all the best, right? And like you're gonna do great. Gonna do great. Sounds really cool. So you're gonna learn a lot of new skills and it's a new adventure that you're going on, right? All right. So it is Trivia Monday. Yes, we have a new background today. New background alert. Pink is definitely one of my favorite colors. Do I snore when I sleep? Not to my knowledge, Anthony. Do you snore when you sleep, Anthony? So for everyone on, Anthony, Claudia, hey, hanging with Anna, everyone on the stream, is it cold? I mean, well, it may not be cold where you're at. So is it cold where you're at? I know, Claudia, you said you're in San Francisco, right? Did the snowstorm hit San Francisco, or is it still pretty, what is it, warm over there? So we have our first trivia question, guys. If you want to answer the poll, where's the poll? I don't want to see it on my laptop. If you want to put the answer in via the poll, or if you want to spam the chat or what you think the answer is, feel free to do that. So the first question is, which investment is generally considered the least risky? So do you think it is cryptocurrency, stocks, corporate bonds, or the U.S. Treasury bonds? So which investment do you think is considered to be the least risky for trivia? If you don't know the answer, just make an educated guess, right? Or just make a random guess. Okay, Claudia said, hi, Cats. Oh, that's sweet. I've been busy. Yeah, totally understandable. Well, glad you were out in the world doing awesome and amazing things. Hey, Sneaky, how are you doing today, Sneaky Pickle? Glad you could be here. Thank you so much for donating a gift. Jazz hands to you, jazz hands to you, Sneaky Pickle. You're helping me get one step closer to paying off my student loan debt. All proceeds made off of social media goes into a separate account. So thank you so much for that donation. How are you doing today? Really, really appreciate that. Okay. Do I believe in Jesus? I believe in a higher power than myself. What are we saying? Hey, 9050, how are you doing today? You look like Julian from Exo Kitty. She's pretty just like you. Well, I don't know who that is, but thank you so much for your kind words. You're pretty as well. How are you doing today? Kat said, it's quite a pivot for me. Yeah, so I was thinking, like, because you said you're a psychology undergrad, right? And then radiology. But you know, that's the great thing about postgraduate degrees. You can literally get them whatever in any field, right? As long as they accept you, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to teach you the material. So you know what? Even though it's a career pivot, Kat's career pivots are definitely good, especially something like radiology. You'll be paid a lot there, right? Kat said the job is stable, it pays well, and there's a lot of place for advancement. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even if you have to do a career pivot, as long as you are willing to like radiology, I don't know, I'm going off of the bias of radiology, a lot of science classes, that's what I think about in my head, but I could be totally incorrect. So as long as you're comfortable like taking those classes, right, if that's what it mostly consists of, then you're all good to do the career pivot, right? Hey Billy. Okay, hey, welcome. Untold Truth, you're leaving, all right, bye. Hey 91, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. How are you doing today? You have absolutely no idea, Claudia, the answers. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, guys. Today is Trivia Monday, so we're going through the trivia questions. Somebody said, yeah, average Roblox baddie avatar, but without a face. Oh, you're saying I can see it. You're saying I look like a Roblox avatar. Now that you say it, yeah, you are right. You are right. When I used to be on Roblox, you would see the characters with the curly hair. You'd see the characters with the curly hair, and they literally do not have a face for some reason, those Roblox characters. So I can see it. Kat said the pink radiating off the wall makes you look so beautiful. I love that color pink. Thank you, Cats, for your kind words. Yeah, I think this isn't watermelon pink. My other room is watermelon pink. This one is probably, it's like a hot pink I was going for. I don't know the official name of it. I forgot. But I know it's not watermelon pink. I've seen watermelon pink because I have a room painted watermelon pink. That's more so a reddish, deeper pink. This one I wanted it to be like a hot pink, a true pink, but I don't want it to be light. So yeah, it's more closer to hot pink. But that means pink mixes with me, right? Because it is my favorite color. So since you said the sun and like is making my skin and the pink merge or whatever, it's really good. It's really good. So pink, the color pink chooses me as well, is what I'm hearing. 91 said Monday night, Rose tonight. What? You're eating raw food? Ew, don't eat no raw food. Do you want to eat raw beef and get sick? Cook your food before you eat it. Yeah, JR. Cook your food before you eat it. I know in some cultures you guys eat raw seafood, right? And like raw beef, but not if you're not part of that culture, or if you don't know how to cook it, don't do that. Kat said, okay, let's end the poll because it's been up for a while. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Y'all did pretty good on this one. So we have some people who are aware of finances a little bit, right? So 38% of you guys are correct. The investment that is generally considered the least risky is the U.S. Treasury bonds. I mean, based on my public administration knowledge a little bit, the reason why that is the least risky is because U.S. Treasury bonds, or the U.S. Treasury, that's kind of like with the Federal Reserve. And I told you guys in the past, the United States owes the U.S. money. So that falls into the same category. And like, even if the U.S. defaults on that debt, there's always money in the U.S. because the U.S. Treasury is part of the U.S. government, right? So your money will kind of always be there in a way. It's not like investing in a company. So yeah, if you guys want to start getting into investments based on this question, I'm not a financial advisor, but a U.S. Treasury bond won't be bad. And I think I do have some bonds as well. I do have bonds, and bonds, I don't even know if they expired, but you have to have them for a few years for them to, to get the face value. So my mom, when I was a baby, she got bonds for me, and I still have those bonds because she's like, if I cashed them now, I'm like, if a bond says $100 or $50, she said I'm not gonna get that, and I want to get the face value. So I still have the bonds. So yeah, they don't expire. So let's go to a next one. Okay, this one could be a different one. This could be an interesting one. Let me ask y'all this one. But welcome everybody. Glad y'all could be here. If you haven't let me know already, let me know. What are you guys planning on doing today? Or what did you do today, right? The day's almost over. I mean, it's not almost over, but evening is almost here, right? Did you go outside today? Did you stay inside for the most part? Most states in the US have said it's been cold. Even like some people from like what, California or one of those states, like the hot states, generally they're like it's cold for them. So the snowstorm is definitely hitting a lot of different states. So stay warm out there, guys. And if you did go outside, I would love to know what y'all did. So the second trivia question is, which of the following is not a type of tax? Not a type of tax, all right? Do you think income tax doesn't exist? Do you think it's sales tax, property tax, or profit tax? Which of the following is not a type of tax? Okay. What are we saying? Oh, it's WWE. WWE. All right, cool. Like, when you say multiple words for some reason, why does it sound funny? But yeah, WWE wrestling. Okay. Are you rooting for a particular player to win? You just did random guesses. Did you get it right? Well, hey, if your random guess was right, That's good, right? It's better than guessing random if it is wrong, right? Claudia said, Mia, I think it's time I correct you, okay? I'm not sure how you got that I'm from San Francisco. Oh, I thought you told me you live in San Francisco. So yeah, I was incorrect then, okay? You don't live in San Francisco. You live like 2 hours from San Francisco. Okay, so yeah, that's probably what happened. So you don't live in San Francisco. Okay, California, San Francisco. Okay, okay. So you live in California. Okay, okay. Or where do you live, right? Geography. Let me see geography. You know, wherever you live, it's okay because at least you have internet, right? So, yeah, you have internet and you can be on the stream. But California, all right, cool, cool. Can we get together? Yeah, like the video, subscribe, never unsubscribe. And anytime I'm on live stream, anytime I post a fully nutritional YouTube video, a YouTube short, all uniquely Mia supporters, you guys can we can have a communal gathering where we get together and engage with each other via talking, via watching, discussing topics that you guys ask me questions about, trivia. If you watch one of my fully nutritional YouTube videos, you can immerse yourself in one of those contents, and it's like you're right there with me on that adventure as well, right? Kat said, yeah, I don't think Mia knows about WWE Junior. Yeah, I really, yeah, didn't know, but wrestling, I think I didn't, if it wasn't for, I guess, media, I wouldn't know what WWE is. So I'm fairly confident. I'm like 97% sure it's wrestling, right? But I'm not a gambler, so I would not bet my money on it. So yeah. Hey, One, how are you doing today? You look okay. I'm not that. All right. Thanks for that. Hey, gang. Glad you could be here. Oh, man. Okay. My profile picture is me. Okay. My wife. Okay. Tina, who passed away for Christmas Eve. Oh, okay, okay. Well, cool picture. Very sad that your wife passed away. That's very sad to hear, right? Hopefully, you're taking it day by day, right? At least you have the positive memories with your wife. Very, very sad to hear. And if you believe in religion, you will see your wife again in the afterlife very, very soon, right? So that's very sad to hear, Junior. Very, very sad to hear. Yeah. So the next trivia question, which of the following is not a type of tax? Is it an income tax, a sales tax, a property tax, or a profit tax? What are we thinking, guys? Let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's end the poll. Let's end the poll. Y'all are pretty good at these. Okay. So, very good at these. So, most of y'all are correct. 83% of y'all said a profit tax is not a type of tax. Yeah, profit tax doesn't exist. It sounds good, right? Like a profit tax when you buy something and I mean, I guess in a way it exists because like when you buy stuff from an organization, they always upcharge, but in the government rise, profit tax isn't real. There's sales taxes, that's what it is, the upcharge, or the taxes that from the government, that's the sales tax. The income tax, obviously, you get paid in income, they take a large chunk of money, you buy property, you got to pay taxes on that property, right? So yeah, profit tax is not a real thing. So let's see, let's do another one. Let's give you a hard one a little bit, see if I can find a hard one. Well, this one's a good one. My mom always talks about this, so if you're a returning supporter, you may have an advantage if you listen to Queen Mother for this question. So let me ask y'all this. See if you guys have been paying attention to her when she talks, guys. So let's see. Okay. Or if you work in an organization, you should know the answer to this too, right? Which account typically offers tax-free withdrawals in retirement? Is it a traditional IRA? Is it a 401k? Is it a Roth IRA? Or is it a savings account? What are we thinking? Wow, it's 57 degrees and sunny in California. You feel so sorry for you folks currently go through a snowstorm. Yeah, that's pretty good weather. Like I wish I was in 57-degree weather. I don't know why I said 54, but I wish I was in 57-degree weather, right? That's pretty good. So Claudia, as somebody from California, right, who do you think that's cold? Because I've heard that people said like if they're from California or like Las Vegas or like one of those states, it's like almost always hot when it drops below a certain level, like 40 degrees or even is cold, but actually that would be like ideal, perfect weather for somebody like me, is at least in the winter, right? Like I love the summer, so ideal, perfect weather for me is summer weather, but if you got to live in America where it's cold, right, particularly in a state that's cold, 57, 54 degrees, 50 degrees would be perfect. Hey, Freddie. Glad you could be here. What are we saying? Kat is like, that sounds wonderful, Claudia. Yeah, you can write a Bible verse in the chat if you want. No, I don't have a cat. Kat said, Mia, why are you in the room and not in the living room? Oh, I decided to just stream from a different location today. So, yeah. Kat said, I got the first two right, but I might get this one wrong, really? Have faith in yourself, guys. Channel inner thoughts from Queen Mother. Let's see what she's saying. Channel some inner thoughts. She always talks about it, guys. Literally always. Hey, we got a frog emoji. Are you a Princess and the Frog fan? It's a pretty good Disney movie. It's not my favorite Disney movie, but it's a good one. So which account typically offers tax-free withdrawals in retirement? Is it the traditional IRA? Is it a 401k? Do you think it's a Roth IRA, or are we thinking it is a savings account, guys? All right, put your answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what it is. So 25% of y'all said it was a traditional IRA. 25% of you guys said it was a 401k. 25 of y'all said it was a Roth IRA, and 25% said it was a savings account. So it was it was honestly an even split. Okay. There was only 4 votes. So only 4 people voted. So each person voted for one option. That's funny. It was actually a Roth IRA. So that is a typical account that offers tax-free withdrawals in retirement, right? So you can start one as early as today. I'm not a financial advisor, but whether you have an entry-level job, whether you have a job that's paying you minimum wage, if you have your forever job, you can create that account and you can put money into said account, and you could either invest that money or just leave it there. And then when you retire, you can have money that's not going to be taxed, right? So tax-free money is always cool. So yeah, if you guys don't have one already, go to your bank and speak to a financial advisor and see if they can help you out if you can't figure out how to do it online, all right? So let's see. This could be another one. Let's do one more financial question, and then we'll move on to something else. Let's see. See if I can find another good one. Let's just ask this one. Okay, let's ask this one. Oh, okay, sorry. The comments disappeared for a second. Alright, Kat said, you chose savings account. I feel like I always listen to Uniquely Bombed Up. Oh, you chose my savings account? Well, savings account is a good one, right? I don't like, honestly, you may be right, Cats. Like, you could, I don't know. You may be right that savings account don't tax your income in retirement, but I'm not 100% sure on that, right? I just know about the Roth IRA because my mom always talks about that, and she made me make one when I was in undergrad, right? But yeah, she always talks about that. She's like, that's one of the first things you guys should have when you are making income. Okay. All right. Hey, Clinton, how are you doing today? Glad you could be here. So this question is, which is an example of liability? Do you think it's a savings account? Do you think it is an investment portfolio? Are we thinking it's a credit card debit, or is it cash? What are we thinking? What is an example of liability, guys? All right, 3 votes in, or cohesive with the answers. What are you saying? Kat said maybe pop culture. We didn't do it last time. Okay, yeah, we can move on to pop culture next, Cats. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, so how are you doing today, Clinton? How are you doing today, everyone on stream? If you don't know the answer, just make an educated guess, right? Let me find some pop culture questions. Alrighty, so we're gonna end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's end the poll. Let's end the poll. Let's end the poll. And all of y'all are correct. Good job, guys. So, credit card debt is a form of liability. Guys, you never really want to have credit card debt, right? Because credit cards are good, right? Because, like, as my mom would say, she said you always need a credit card, particularly if you're in America, at least one. Because if you want to get a job one day or a good job, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, right? Having a good credit score is good, and to have said good credit score, not a financial advisor, all right? Not a financial advisor. I'm just reiterating what my mom has told me, and geez, we're not your financial advisors. Go to the bank, right? But this is a form of education, right? So having at least one credit card, right? Where you can build that good credit is a good thing, right? And but don't have multiple, right? Don't have a credit card at Macy's, don't have a credit card at Walmart, don't have a credit card at Burlington, and just be swiping. So I hate that idea, right? Sometimes my mom, she'll have a credit card for like Macy's or Burlington, and she'll go to the store and she picks up like 100 different things, and I'm like, she uses her credit card. I'm like, you can't pay for it cash. You can't afford to buy it cash. That means you can't afford it. Don't buy it, right? So having a regular basic credit card that you can use for everything in my head is pretty good, particularly one where you get the points because you're building that good credit, right? But if it's not tied to one store in particular, you're not going into debt at that one store in particular, right? So yeah, get a credit card and use it smartly. If you can't buy it right off the bat, you can't afford it. That's the best way to go, right? In an ideal world, in my opinion, buy the item with a credit card. Immediately after you leave the store, transfer the money and pay off the credit card, right? But if you can't do that, don't buy the item. Can't afford it. So yeah. Next, what we got? Anthony said, do you snore when you sleep? I don't think so, Anthony. I don't think so. Cat's like, oh, gee, Anthony. No, because Anthony, what? Do you snore, Anthony? That's all you ask me. Exactly. Claudia's like, Anthony, do you snore? No, we have Staying Off the Grid, so it seems like Staying Off the Grid and Anthony are on the same boat, guys, or in the same level, right? They only asked me those two questions, right? Or one Anthony asked me a question. Staying Off the Grid just says a false statement, right? So guys, Staying Off the Grid and Anthony, continue to be subscribed to Uniquely Mia, continue to watch Uniquely Mia for nutritional YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, etc. Your vocabulary will be increased as you do that, right? So let's find some more pop culture. Let's do something modern pop culture. Normally when I ask you pop culture questions, we bring it back to like history, like the first this, first that. But this one is going to bring it back or bring it forward to 2023, more recent. So let's see. They're so interesting. Yeah. Yep, I do agree, Kat. It's like I just wonder though, I wonder like after they ask those questions or say those statements, do they disappear or do they just like stick around? Like that's really interesting. But which movie actually won Best Picture at the 2023 Oscars? Do we think it's Avatar: The Way of Water? Is it Elvis? Was it Top Gun Maverick, or Everything Everywhere All at Once? I've never even seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, Cats is like, I wonder what fused their drive. LOL. No, exactly, right? I know in the past it was Ali, the support at Ali, who was on the channel before. I know when she used to come on stream, other people would say she's AI. I don't think you're AI, Ali, but that's what other supporters would say about Ali, right? So sometimes I think like, hey, can an AI bot really like come on your stream and just chat? Because like that's who I think Staying Off the Grid is now, Anthony, right? What if they're AI bots in there? That's like the only thing. Like, it's a test run that YouTube is doing, and that's the only thing they're programmed to say, right? I mean, at least, hey, YouTube, for the, if you guys are AI bots, take this feedback back to YouTube. Make sure they don't give false community guideline strikes, particularly if they see, like, teddy bears in the background, right? Or people wearing anime shirts. That's really annoying. It happened to me numerous times, right? For the chat, we had some feedback from some supporters. I think it was Gigi Cat. She said for the live streams, for the comments, it would be really helpful to bring lines, right, to separate it. So if you guys are AI bots and you're taking this feedback back to YouTube, that could be some great feedback. YouTube app has low-key been crashing sometimes, so look into that stat so it doesn't crash anymore, right? And the words should be really bigger on all devices. Now that I have a new phone, the words are much bigger for me, so it's not really, I'm not even thinking about it anymore. However, on my old phone, the words are really tiny. That was because the screen on my phone was really tiny, right? But there should have been a setting for people to make the screen bigger. That would have helped. I mean, the words bigger, that would have helped. Kat said, I think it's everything everywhere. Did you watch Mia? Yeah, oh yeah, everything everywhere. Yeah, all at once. I've never seen that one. Never seen that one. Haven't seen that one. So we're going to end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, y'all did pretty decent with that one. Not too bad. Not too bad. But the underdog wins in this situation. Everything everywhere all at once is the winner. 25% of y'all, which I think works out to be one person who got it right. Now for the people who chose Avatar: The Way of Water, did you choose that because it was like the famous name, or did you just actually think it was that one? That'd be cool. So let's see, one of the most famous families, well, I don't know, famous families in the world. I don't know. I feel like every culture you go to on social media, at least people know who their name is. Let's see if you guys actually did some deep dive into their lore. Now, I never done, so I would have gotten this one wrong, but let's see. Okay. This is the family. One person become rich, everybody become rich. And at least the older siblings got to be rich and then bought the younger ones in. 10 out of 10 siblings right there, right? Which Kardashian was not born a Kardashian? Do we think it was Kim? Do you think it was Kourtney? Do you think it was Khloe? Or do you think it was Kendall? So pop culture moments. Which Kardashian was not born a Kardashian? So yeah, let's see. Claudia said, yeah, who chose Avatar? No. Like, Avatar's a pretty good movie. I've seen it. I saw all 3 of them. Obviously, the first movie is always the best, but I don't really remember the first one because, like, when it came out, I think I saw it, but, like, I never really rewatched it, so I just remember a little bit of it. So the one that I do remember is the more recent ones, Avatar, The Way of Water, and the one that came out last year. The scenery's really good, like the visuals of everything, 10 out of 10. The Way of Water was good, but like even the last one that came out in 2025 was good as well. The only thing was the plot was somewhat interesting. Like, people were saying on social media, why were they still in the water? They should have been, like, I don't know where the fire was then, right? Kat said, oh, and I already took almost a little too long and therefore overstimulated. I can understand that. They were really cute though. I took them off easily. Oh, with oil, so you reused them? Okay, nice. So yeah, I wasn't able to stay for the whole stream, Cats, but what I did see of the nails, it did look really pretty. And as I said in the comments, like, the pink was a really pretty pink color because it was like almost like a nudish. It was a mixture of nude pink and like light pink, which you don't see often, and then the jewels. But I can understand being overstimulated by the long nails. Like, even my nails, I had to file them down a little bit, but I am filing them down, like making them shorter as they grow, so that way I can try to preserve the nail length, right? So the only way this cell break is when they bite off my nails, right? That's the only way. I've been tempted to bite them off, but I am having some self-control, right? So the reason why for my nails, if they look short, it's because I'm filing it to maintain the nail health. So I say all to say, Cats, once you have long nails on, you really have to be a lot more careful. It takes a while to get used to it, but at least they're pretty, and at least you can reuse it, which is the most important thing, right? So if you're ever going outside for, like, I don't know, a fun event and you want to have a manicure really quickly without going to the nail salon, you can use that. All right, what are you saying? You know this one surprisingly, Kat said. Hey Vernon, good afternoon. How are you doing today? Claudia said, Kat, did you use nail glue or adhesive tabs? They have adhesive tabs for nails. I did not even know that. Kat said, I use nail glue, but I did. Oh, you didn't buff your nails before? Oh, okay, yeah. So there was nothing really to keep the nail on outside of the glue. So they weren't securely attached anyway. Okay, nice. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So a lot of people even know this one. So it is Kendall, yes. So that is the Kardashian who was not born a Kardashian. And I don't even know if she changed her name, but according to that website where I got the answers from, everybody who chose Kendall has gotten the answer correct. So, let's do another one. Okay. Read that. What are you gonna do this one? Let's do a Disney question. Okay, let me see some of the comments. How are you doing today? I'm Vernon. Glad you could be here. Hey, Evan. Glad you could be here. How's your day going today, Evan? Evan said I dropped you a message on your community tab, Cats. Nice. Okay, I hope you're well. All right. Doing well, Evan. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing today? What's the weather like where you guys are at today? Is it feeling cold or did it warm up a little bit? In New York, it's still pretty cold. We did not go outside today, even though we were supposed to go outside. Felt the cold. Was like, we're not doing that. So, yeah. We are back with Monday Trivias. As always, thank you, everyone, for being on the stream. And thank you so much for being part of the Uniquely Mia community. Really appreciate y'all. Thanks for making the channel part of your day. And on Mondays, we do trivia. So we're into pop culture. Is there any genre that y'all would like to ask me that you guys would like me to ask you questions on for trivia? First, we started with some financial questions, and now we are in the pop culture questions. So, which Disney movie was the first to be fully computer animated? Was it Finding Nemo? Was it Shrek? Or do you think it was Toy Story? If you don't know the answer, don't Google. You don't need to Google. Just make an educated guess, guys. So what are we thinking? Guys? Which Disney movie was the first to be fully computer animated? Okay, you might do a nail stream next time, Evan said. Okay, cool. It was freezing today, Evan. Wow. Yeah, it was freezing here in America too today. At least in the state of New York it was. So hopefully you stayed warm at least. So what's for dinner after that freezing weather, right? When it's cold outside, is it soup? I had chicken soup today. I had that yesterday. My mom cooked it yesterday, so I had chicken soup yesterday. Claudia said, Mia, there are now adhesive tabs, but I don't like how it feels after using them for a day. Okay. I didn't know that, but that's interesting. So, is it kind of like Velcro? I can just Google it, Max. Let me Google it. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, yeah. I see what they look like. So, yeah, I can see how they're uncomfortable to wear. Because you would feel it, if that makes sense, right? Because, like, you put on your nail, and you put it on behind the nail, and you stick it on. So, yeah. And do you find, Claudia, have you used both? Have you used nail glue? Do you think the glue is stronger? Because I would imagine the glue would be a little stronger. Okay, what are we saying? Hey, Josh, how are you doing today? You're pretty as well, Josh. Thank you so much for your kind words. Was it cold today? Vernon said, I don't think Shrek and Toy Story are Disney movies, so Finding Nemo. Okay. What are we saying? Kat said, I want Timo nails now. You have to check out Timo, Evan. I have to check out Timo. All right, let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 50% are incorrect. Correct answer is 50% of you guys who said Toy Story. Toy Story is actually a Disney movie, right? And it was one of the first movies to be completely computer animated. So Toy Story. I've seen Toy Story when I was younger. It was cool. Like I saw it just because like it was like a cool cartoon that was promoted, right? And I think my mom bought it. So, but like I don't think it was ever my favorite, but I did see it. Okay. So is there any other topics? What other topics you guys are thinking? I'm thinking maybe some winter topics, but that's probably, let me see what questions I can find related to winter, but I don't know if that'll be fun, but we could try a few. But is there any topics that you guys would like me to ask y'all trivia questions on? Kat said, I feel like Toy Story is such an obvious Disney movie. Yeah. Brandon said Toy Story is a Pixar movie, so Pixar is under Disney. I guess. Yeah. Because it's a Disney movie. Probably wasn't Disney, and they probably saw that happen. So I guess for the answer for this question now, since they sold it after, it would be Disney. Yeah. And I looked up a flyer, and it says Disney Pixar Toy Story. So yeah, like I said, looks like they sold the company. You guys can't even see it. You could Google it in an image. So they sold the company. It's like, what is it, Netflix? Netflix bought Warner Brothers, right? So what? In like 10 years, when somebody asks a trivia question about Netflix, like, is Netflix movies, or no, it would be Warner Brothers, right? So yeah, in 10 years, if somebody asks a trivia question, was Pirates of the Caribbean produced by Netflix or Warner Brothers? The correct answer could be Netflix because they just bought Warner Brothers company, right? Yeah. All right, what are we saying? You don't like trivia, Evan? Why not? Evan said these questions make me feel dumb. They're supposed to be a learning, not to make you feel dumb, right? At least if you get the answer wrong here, no, there's no reprimanding for getting the answer wrong. That's why I also have the poll, right? So in case you were uncertain, but you still want to participate, you want to be anonymous, you can vote in the poll. You don't have to put your answer in the chat, right? But if you do get it wrong, it's just a learning opportunity, right? So who knows, in the future, if you ever ask the question again outside of the stream, you'll know the answer now. Kat said, fun fact about Toy Story. Hey, nice. What is it? They didn't give Andy a dad because they didn't want to spend time and money to animate it. That's so funny. And now that you say it, since it was like the first of its kind, it makes sense, right? Because it was the first of its kind. They probably had to pay critical attention to each character and spend a lot of money on each. So now that you say that, it makes sense. Brandon said, that's funny though. Yeah, Disney bought Marvel. Wow, I didn't even know that. Disney bought Marvel along with everything else. I think Disney owns me. Okay. No, Anthony, I do not store when I sleep. We should do 80 to 90 pop questions for Evan. I think Evan would leave and Shay wouldn't even tell us. We would be asking these questions like, Evan, what's the answer? And Evan wouldn't be here, or Evan would just go silent on us. Vernon said, I thought Andy's dad was a deadbeat. Evan said, Cats, we should talk about our favorite desserts. Oh, you want a dessert stream? We could do a dessert trivia. That'd be fun. Okay, let's do a dessert trivia since we are on the topic of desserts. Okay, let's see what we find. Yeah, chocolate cake is good. It's my favorite cake. I've had an eclair before. It's good, the eclair, but you have to get one with like the filling. It has to be like a good filling, right? Because the one I got like when I had the eclair, it was in Paris, right? It was good. I liked the top because it had chocolate, obviously, and it was kind of like a donut a little bit. But the inside, like the filling was good. I think it was vanilla, but like I didn't like it 100%, so I just ate off the chocolate. But eclairs, you find one with a good filling, it's good. It's almost like crepes? When I went to Paris, I had a crepe, and I was so excited to taste the crepe because everybody was always talking about the crepe, saying it's so good, it's so good. I had a crepe with strawberry and Nutella. It was so nasty to me. It had no taste, in my opinion, guys. No taste. I don't know if I got it from a bad spot or if that's just how crepes are, but I did not like the one I had. All right. Which dessert is traditionally used in tiramisu? Is it a pound cake, a sponge cake, ladyfingers, or biscotti? So which one is traditionally used in tiramisu, guys? What are we thinking? Yes, it is freezy today, Kem. It is so cold outside. so cold outside. I did not even go outside today. Is it freezing today where you're at as well, Cam? You like chocolate and cookies? Yeah, chocolate and cookies are good. Chocolate cake's my favorite, and then chocolate chip cookies, not surprising, are my favorite, or Oreos. But yeah. What are you saying? Evan said maybe in the U.S. the eclair is different. Yeah, I've never had an eclair in the U.S. Hey, how you doing, Millsy? That hair, your real hair, I mean, it's attached to my head, right? So while it's attached to my head, yeah, it is. Evan said, cats, I love chocolate bars too. Yeah, it's good. Kat said, I also like chocolate. I have never had chocolate mousse cake. I don't think I've ever had chocolate mousse cake. I feel like I've had chocolate mousse, right? But if chocolate mousse and chocolate mousse cake is different, and I'm like, I feel like I had it when I was younger, but I don't remember. Maybe it was Jello, like chocolate Jello. I don't think I had chocolate mousse. It's probably Jello. Vernon said, I'm not a big fan of pastries. I'd rather have cookies and a cake of pie. You mean a piece of pie? A cake of pie? Cake of pie. I mean, they have cake pie? Oh, you mean pie. Okay, you mean regular pie. All right. Yeah, apple pie is really good. Kat said, wow, I literally just talked about tiramisu. That's crazy. Okay. Brandon said they don't know. Make a guess. Still your photos that way. In what way? Oh, okay. Evan's telling cats about their stalker. All right. Yeah, stay safe, Evan. Hey, Blake. Have you ever flopped to the floor from tripping? Yeah, Blake, I have. When I was in undergrad, I was moving in. I think it was my second year. I was moving in, and I was carrying boxes, or not even boxes. I was just carrying like a basket in my hand, and I was wearing some Clark shoes that didn't have a back, you know, like flip flops. I was wearing like Clark flip flops, and I tripped over my shoe, and I literally body planted in front, like face planted in front of like a mother and like their son or daughter who's moving in. Yeah, so that has definitely happened to me before. Hello, John. Glad you could be here. All right, let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, so, okay. 49, that's 49, right? 49% of y'all got it correct. It is ladyfingers. Ladyfingers is traditionally used in tiramisu. So I think the way they make it, based on the videos I've seen, I think you dip it in coffee or the tiramisu sauce, and they make it soggy, and then you like put it on top of the tiramisu creamer layer, and then you freeze it or whatever, or bake it. It's one of the two. So yeah, let's do another one. So Evan, this one's for you. Don't leave. We have a UK native in the chat. Right? So this one's for you, Evan. And if you're not a UK native, you live in the UK. So that's why I said that. But this one's for you. Hopefully you get this one right. And you could tell us if this is wrong too, Evan, because this one is based off a UK dessert, all right? So if the answer is right or wrong, let us know. Because sometimes I think you get answers wrong. That's why I'm trying to fact checking as I go today with these questions and answers. All right. So, which dessert is known as pudding in the UK? Is it chocolate pudding, custard, rice pudding, or is it any dessert? So, which dessert is known as pudding in the UK? Hey, Amsterdam, how are you doing today? Kat said, are they trying to repost it? Oh, okay, it's your own content. Okay, Kat said, I haven't said conversation. Oh, okay, so Vernon likes any pudding except for blueberries. Wow. Yeah, I don't like blueberries either. Not pudding pie. Sorry, my head is on the topic of pudding. Like I read your statement, but I was thinking about pudding. But yeah, so Vernon likes any pie except for blueberry pie. Yeah, I don't like blueberries. The only pie I've ever had was apple pie, and I've tasted pumpkin pie. It's not my favorite. Like, the pumpkin pie has an okay flavor, but it's not something I'll gravitate towards. I think I had sweet potato pie. I like sweet potato pie, but I don't like it the way the Americans cook it, right? She cooked sweet potato pie. When I was growing up, somebody cooked sweet potato pie a very good way. It was really good. I like it that way. The way make it in America, I don't like it. So yeah, McDonald's apple pie is good. Okay. Evan said I thought, okay, might get better. Okay, Evan said, I thought all desserts were pudding. Brandon said rice pudding is good. I think my mom likes rice pudding. I don't think I've ever had that though. Yeah, Evan, the apple pie from McDonald's is good. Cat's like, no, don't leave. But how is your face being used as bait? You're not supposed to be on YouTube or something. Evan said, no, Cats, I just want to know. I just want to keep it private. Private as the UK is small, and I don't like anyone to know who I am. It isn't the same here as US. Okay, that makes sense. Friends said they like sweet potato pie, apple pie. Ooh, peach cobbler. I don't think I've ever had peach cobbler, but I feel like I would like that. I think I would like peach cobbler. And you eat that with ice cream, right? I feel like I've heard about people eating peach cobbler and they eat it with ice cream. So let's end the polls. End the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So Evan, you got it right. Evan was right. Evan said they thought all pudding, right? All dessert was pudding, and according to Evan, according to the website, that's correct. All dessert is called pudding in the UK. So just when I go to the UK, I'm like, hey, pudding. I'm ready for some pudding. I'm ready for some cake, not actual pudding, right? So yeah, that's what they call it. Why do y'all call it that? I don't know. Evan, do you know why you guys call it that in the UK? Why is all dessert called pudding? Not to put you on the spot. If you don't want to answer, let me know. I can just Google it and figure out the answer. Hopefully. But if you wanna if you wanna tell us the answer, we greatly appreciate it. But let me see. Okay. Evan said pudding is anything sweet that we have. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Very cool. So we're learning some British slang today. Or terminology. Evan said, the banana pudding from Magnolia's is yummy. I've heard about Magnolia's. It's been going viral on social media, and people have said it's good. Yeah, Cats, according to the website, yeah, any dessert is pudding. So, like, chocolate cake, cookies, I don't know, sweet biscuits or crackers, it will be pudding. Evan said, I think it's an old word. Okay, we use, but most people use dessert. Oh, okay. Kat said, so instead of saying time for dessert, you say time for pudding. Brennan said, so if I want some fruit, for dessert in the UK, do you call it pudding? That's a good question, because, like, fruit isn't really dessert, right? That's a good question. All right, let me find another one. Ooh, this one's a good one. Ooh, this is very interesting. This is an interesting question. Let me ask y'all this one. This one's interesting. I mean, it's interesting because I would have probably just guessed, and I don't think I would have. This is interesting. One second. Okay. So, which country is credited with inventing ice cream? Do you think it's Italy? Do you think it is France? Are we thinking China? Or do we think it is the good old US of A? What are we thinking? Which country is credited with inventing ice cream? All right. Evan said I always say dessert. You always say dessert because you're Americanized. Okay, cool. Hey, how are you doing, Deborah? Glad you could be here. Evan said fruit would be considered pudding, yes. Oh, if it came after dessert. Okay, so anything that comes after dessert then. All right, that's not a full meal's pudding. Okay. It's cool, thanks. It's cool. See, we can learn from each other on stream. Shout out to Evan for answering our questions about pudding, and shout out to all the Uniquely Mia supporters for participating and deciding to be consistent supporters on the Monday trivia live stream so we can all learn something together, guys. Really appreciate your support and engagement. Kat said, don't let someone bully you off of YouTube, Evan, stand your ground. Exactly, Evan. And as I always say too, like, especially when I was on your streams, Evan, as Kat said, if you feel like you're being bullied, right, and if you feel like it is a very serious situation, please report it to YouTube, Evan, because YouTube is really great at, like, investigating accounts, banning accounts, or putting temporary holds on accounts if somebody's being bullied or if you feel in danger, right? You should never feel in danger, particularly on social media, right? For too long, people have felt comfortable on social media to say mean things to people or cyberbullying or to harass people. Don't let that happen. Report that if that happens, right? Or if you have an inkling that that's going to happen, report it. YouTube is great at like either blocking that person from seeing your account or blocking you from seeing that individual's comments about you or what they're typing for you. So yeah. So yeah, definitely your safety's first, Evan. Kat said that makes sense, Evan, because I notice a lot of UK YouTubers do face reveals, but it's as common. I didn't even notice that, Kat. So I didn't even notice that not a lot of UK content creators don't do face reveals. I really don't follow a lot of UK content creators, but I guess my For You page just recommends my geography location, but that's interesting to hear. Hey, how are you doing? Glad you could be here. 8157. How are you doing today? What's the weather like? Okay, Ren said they guessed Italy. Okay, good guess. Kat said, yeah, I never thought about the origins of ice cream. Yeah, I never thought about the oranges. Why am I saying origin? Or oranges. I'm saying origins, but it's coming out like oranges. Is that another word that I get tongue-tied on? Genetics. My mom is tongue-tied. Low-key. I get it from her. Origins. Doesn't it sound like orange, guys, a little bit? I don't know. Brennan said, it might be China. Okay. I think I've heard of ice cream was invented in China. Really? Okay. You're not sure, though. Okay. Evan said Italy. All right. So if anyone wants to change their answer, take a second look. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's end the poll. 74% of y'all. So the answer is Italy. Y'all are wrong. Vernon, you said it in the chat. You said it might be China, but nobody voted for China. 0% of y'all are incorrect. I'll give you half a point, Vernon. I'll give you half a point because you said that you think it's China in the chat, but you didn't change your answer. So yeah, you get half a point for that. But it was actually ancient China that invented ice cream. Like, that's why I said that was an interesting question to ask y'all, because when I saw that, I was like, what do you mean China invented ice cream? It's similar because China invented gunpowder too, but everybody thinks it's Europe that invented gunpowder, right? Gunpowder in China was actually used as an early form of medicine, if y'all didn't know, but then white persons from Europe went to China and then they found it and they took it back to their country and turned it into a weapon, right? So China, I'm telling you, that Silk Road, man, that Silk Road was a great thing that they had back in the day. So yeah, where's China? All right, what are you saying? Okay. What are we saying? For instance, I've noticed you say comfortable, normal now. I mean, comfortable. I feel like I said it normal both ways, but the more sociable, acceptable way is comfortable, right? So yeah, I'm trying to say comfortable a little more. Like I said, I still say comfortable, right? It's just a little bit more code switching for me, but I want to say comfortable a little more because I had to do something very important where I was speaking to some people, right? And like I had to use an example. In one of the examples, I was using the word comfortable, but I did not want to say comfortable in that meeting because I'm like, I shouldn't probably say that in that meeting, right? Because like it's second nature for me, but like that's what I'm saying. Thank you guys for your support on YouTube. And I know sometimes when people point out me saying words, sometimes people may say, oh, I know some people are trying to be mean, but if you say it in a respectful way, saying you say this a little different, I'm noticing that, and that's good. So thank you guys for pointing out when I say words just a little different or with an accent, right? Thanks for telling me that because I'm able to identify that and be like, okay, this probably isn't how most people speak, right? And I don't want to be like most people, but code switching is a real thing. So because you guys were consistently pointing out that I say comfortable, right? When I was speaking to like an important group of people the other day or a few weeks ago, and I was using my example, I had to stop myself and be like, comfortable, right? Instead of comfortable. So yeah, but at least on stream, I'll try to say comfortable, right? Consistently now. But if I revert back to comfortable. Just know I'm actually code switching when I say comfortable. I want to say comfortable, but I'm code switching for y'all. So yeah, Evan said, okay, cats, it's just difficult sometimes because I work, and I guess here it means a little different. Hey, how are you doing, Daisy? Daisy said Jesus loves you. Thank you, thank you. He loves you as well. He's come back soon. Oh, so when's he coming? Like, when he comes back, does that mean we don't gotta work no more? What does that mean? No more stress? When he come back, when he coming? So, do I need to, like, travel more often? Can I, like, leave the stressful things in my life alone and not do that no more? When he coming? Let me know, Daisy. Kat said, it's Rapture, right? Lots of people say China had noodles before Italy. Wow, and I could see that, honestly. I could see that. Hey, Jake say vegetables. Okay, vegetables. You want me to say? I will say I can continue saying vegetables the way I say it, Drake, because I don't think I'll ever be in a situation where I'm speaking in front of like a group of prestige individuals where I need an example where I have to say vegetables or vegetables, right? But how are you doing today, Drake? Hey, Cam, how are you doing today? Oh, you just did your hair and your nails? Nice. What color did you paint your nails? It's Trivia Monday. Kat said, yeah, I remember, okay, this one UK YouTuber had like 1 million subscribers before he did a face reveal, but after his face reveal, his channel, oh no, sank. No, you know what happens though, Kat, because I've heard about that. Because you know what happens? It's like people, when you have a channel, you don't show your face. Like if I had to restart my YouTube channel again, I feel like I would definitely try not to show my face. Not because I don't want my face to be on social media. I just feel like it would be really interesting to see the dynamic, right? Because it's like why your supporters are consistently coming back, because they want to see your face, right? But the minute they see your face, they don't want you anymore, right? They don't want to see your content anymore, right? So I feel like in those situations, like people build an idea of what your face looks like, right? Or they just think you're much more prettier than you actually are when they can't see your face for some reason. As mean as it is to say, when they show their face and you realize, oh, you're not all that in your face after you did the face reveal. Why am I coming back to your content, right? So it's kind of to say, it's kind of like saying they subscribe to the person just to see their face and just because of the hidden aspect of it. It's like my age, right? It's like my age, like before I posted videos explicitly showing you my age, right? Before I did that, a lot of people would always ask, how old are you, right? And they would, and it still happens, but I was getting those questions a lot more because now I guess my supporters, you guys are actually going and checking out my playlist videos and etc. So shout out to y'all. So you are seeing these things right in front of your face, but my age is still a hot topic question, but it's the same thing for like the face reveal like that, right? So yeah, it's something that they want to see or they want to know, but they're just not telling them, right? So that's why there's some celebrities, they've never done a face reveal. And I'm like, never do the face reveal, dude. That's the majority of the people follow you because they want your face. But the minute you show your face, they're gonna disappear on you. Verdon said, I like when you say it with your accent. All my close friends I'm growing up with West Indian. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, my mom, she still says it's comfortable. No, she still says comfortable, right? She still says that. And like I said, like, when I say comfortable, I'm consciously thinking about it before I say it. So if I say something, because oftentimes you see on stream, sometimes I'll just say something I'm not consciously thinking about. That's why sometimes I mispronounce like simple words sometimes, or I'll just say the incorrect name for you guys because I'm just reading your comments. I'm not consciously thinking about who typed it. So that could happen with comfortable, right? But yeah, Kat said, hey Cam, I just did a nail stream. Nice with press-ons. Okay. Cam said, ooh, you're attempting French tip. Are you going to do like the white French tip or are you going to do like the colorful French tip? Colorful French tips are my favorite. Brent wants me to say table. No, okay, I know what you're trying. You're trying to hear a Caribbean table, right? I know some Caribbean tables. I'm not going to try and say how they say it, but they say it funny, right? But like, I don't have a Caribbean accent. I don't have one. The only reason why I will say certain words different, right, or with a little bit of an accent is because, like I said, right, I grew up around people who had an accent, right, or not even an accent. I grew up around people who probably said certain words weird, right, or not even weird, but just different. They just said it different. So growing up, when you hear those, you think that's how you're supposed to say it, right? So that just became my norm. Luckily, it wasn't for a lot of words, right? But it's a select few, and sometimes I don't even know that I say weird words, weird or different, like oranges, like origins. I feel like I'm saying orange, but I'm saying origins, right? So yeah, that's another one that I discovered. Cam said it was super dirty your hair, so you washed it and blew it out to the side. Okay, nice. Okay, I'm behind in the chat, so let me get you guys another trivia question, and then I'm gonna continue reading up on the chat. But if you guys have any topics that y'all would ask, that you guys would like me to ask you trivia on, like topics on, topics that you guys would like me to ask you questions on, please type it in the chat, all right? So I can find some questions related to it. And I would love to know, what's the weather like where you're at today? Was it cold? Super duper cold here in New York. It wasn't like 14 degrees. I think it was like 24, but it was still a lot of snow out there. So we did not go to the gym today. We're not gonna go to the gym this week. We'll go next week. So like Saturday, Sunday, we'll revert back to going to the gym on Saturday and Sunday. So when I say this week, I don't mean like we're not going to the gym on a Tuesday. No, I'm not doing that. But we'll go back on Saturday and Sunday. Don't worry, we're not gonna skip 2 weeks at the gym. I mean, we will skip 2 weeks at the gym this year, but not this week. So yeah. What dessert literally means cooked cream in French? Is it mousse? Is it a creme brulee? Pina colada or custard? That's writing a face, right? I haven't noticed the answer was writing a face. Okay. You don't sound old at all. I love your accent, Evan. Oh yeah, your accent is pretty good, Evan. Yeah, it's actually a true. Like I'm hearing your British accent, and I'm also hearing like your Indian accent a little bit, Evan, which is really cool because I remember you telling me that you're South Asian as well. So I'm like, hey, like when you say certain words to Evan, it's like stereotypical British, and then it's also I hear the Indian accent, which is cool. So it's a nice blend of both. And I remember on the stream, like the other day on stream, I know we were saying that people from the UK, y'all say aluminum, like aluminum foil, a little different than us Americans. And I remember I tuned into your stream and you said it different than Americans aluminum foil, which is pretty cool. Okay, Vernon said, so is Mia basically saying she stopped following people for being ugly? Oh, no, I've never followed nobody because they haven't shown their face, except for maybe Marshmello, like that singer, but that was his songs I listened to, and he never even sang, he just made the beats, right? So, but like I said, when I'm on social media, guys, the people who do Uniquely Mia subscribe to on YouTube and TikTok. I subscribe to people who travel a lot, people who do manicures, people who get massages, people who eat food. Literally. The mukbangs, the manicures, the not really pedicure, but the mukbangs, chiropractors I subscribe to do. I like the chiropractors. I'm like, crack my back to chiropractor, but I'm so scared to go to a chiropractor. My mom was always like, you want to go to a chiropractor? I'm like, what? So to crack my back or to crack my neck? So those are the people that I subscribe to. Chiropractors, ASMR massages, head scalp massages, mukbangs with the food, travel videos, and maybe fashion, but fashion, not 100%. I like what I've recently discovered that I like watching. I like watching people go to the Dollar Tree and like Burlington or TJ Maxx and buying stuff. I like watching that, like, I guess because I like shopping, but like they'll go to Burlington or TJ Maxx. How much Juicy Couture stuff can you get? Like, they have a ridiculous amount of Juicy Couture stuff at TJ Maxx and Burlington. It's crazy. And then Dollar Tree, they're like, their Dollar Trees are better than mine because they'll go and it's fully stocked. They're like, oh, this is a dupe you should get. If you want this, get this. If you want to, like, I don't know, become like a skincare girly, get this from the Dollar Tree. So that's the type of content that I subscribe to and watch from Uniquely Mia. And they all show their face for the most part, right? Evan said, I don't think Mia could ever be like rootless. She's so harmless. And it said, I love it. Thank you for your kind words. Evan said, I wish Mia becomes my manager. Where do you work, Evan, if you're comfortable sharing? Okay, depending on what they're paying me in the UK, I can move to the UK for sure. Like, I can do it, right? Like, what's the salary like? Cam said, okay, white tips with the sheer pink base. Very nice. Kat said, I pronounce the word bullet wrong sometimes. If I think about it too long, it doesn't sound real, like a real word anymore. Yes, exactly, exactly. Jake said, I hate when I spell words correctly. But it's still strong. No, that's a real thing. Like necessary and available. Do you know, have you guys been seeing those trends that happen on social media where people are like, if a gun was held to, or if a pew pew was like, or not even that, that's too morbid. If it was a life or death situation and I had to spell this word, plan my funeral today, available and necessary for me. Those are the two. And I write a ridiculous amount of essays, right? But it's always for available. It's that V. It's that like the V and like the other like and it looks, but it's crazy. It's crazy. The ones that I can spell correctly but it looks wrong is continuously. Because even like when I write essays, I will spell continuously correct, but why does it light up as being incorrect? Like if I were to type it out now, it would light up as being incorrect. And the amount of times that has happened to me when I wrote essays and I actually copied and pasted the word into Google to see if it's wrong. And they're like, no, your spelling of continuously is correct. So it made no sense. So that's a word that gets me annoyed sometimes. Well, in the past when I wrote a lot of essays. Kat said, good luck with the French tip, Cam. Yeah, it can be deceiving. It looks easy, yup. But it has to be very consistent to look good. Exactly. Like a tip from me, Cam, with the French tip, particularly if you were doing it on natural nails. But my tip is saying your nails is going to take 2 days. It's going to take 2 days. So for today, you're just going to add the base coat, like the nude pink or the light pink. You're just going to add that. You're going to let it dry fully. Don't put top coat. You could if you want, but let it dry fully. And then tomorrow, you're going to find some tape in your house. You're going to take the tape and you're going to make a perfect line. And then you'll add the white tip. Because I remember I did that with like a black French tip that I did, and that was the best French tip that I ever did. It was like perfectly uniform, it was symmetric, it looked great, it looked professional. It took 2 days. It took 2 days, guys. Because when I try to freehand a French tip, it's always gonna look different. It's never gonna look the same. Like, I have to turn on my light. It's getting dark in here. Okay. They say aluminum. Yeah, it's pretty. Let me get my light, guys. I'm gonna turn on the light. Wait, where's Somehow I got a flash? Oh, I can turn the light on YouTube. That's cool. Never mind. You miss Queen Mother's voice in the background. Hope Queen Mother liked my cooking. Yeah, she said, yeah, we liked her cooking, Evan. It looked really, really good. Drake said, I went into a Dollar Tree for the first time because the store was coming and the other stores didn't have anything. Okay, cool. Did you like it? Did you like the experience? Evan said, if Mia becomes my manager, I can take 1 hour lunches. As long as you get the job done, for sure, Evan. As long as you get the job done. Kat said, but I noticed that YouTube live viewers really like to see faces. Yeah, that is true, Kat. You are right about that. When people turn the camera away from their face view, the views literally go down. Yeah, it is interesting. It is. Yeah. Jake said, I got an old-fashioned lemonade. And it was fire. Nice. You want to go back and buy it You want to go back and buy everyone. I'm assuming you mean everything from Dollar Tree. Yeah, Dollar Tree is like, it's a good store, but you were brave. You got food from Dollar Tree, Jake. I've never gotten food from Dollar Tree. I just go there for the nail polish. Like if you want stationery items, sometimes decorations, that's a good place to go. Okay, the correct answer was a creme brulee. So y'all got that right. So we learned a French word today. So creme brulee means cooked cream. So yeah, for a creme brulee. Cat said, I like streaming. I like stream walking too. Yeah, stream walking is cool. It's cool. Okay, Evan said they're going camping, camp stream in the US. Nice, you're gonna get a camera. Awesome. Okay, Vernon said, autocorrect gets on my nerves. Yeah. I will type a word correctly and it will sub my word for a non-existent word. Or if you said a word, that sucks. No, it really does. It really does. So yeah, I turn the autocorrect off on my phone. And if I spell something wrong, I go back in, like, and I actually click it, and I'm like, okay, then you can fix the autocorrect. But I just don't let autocorrect do whatever it wants to do. I'll come back. I need to turn the light on. I might actually have to move. That don't even reach, guys. That don't even reach. I mean, it reaches a little bit, but not a lot. Okay. 1 second. Okay, what are we saying? Kat said, Evan, do you know how to connect the camera to vertical YouTube live streams? If not, it will be horizontal. That's a good question, because that's one of the reasons why I haven't like actively looked for a vlogging camera, because like I feel like it would be cool to have a vlogging camera, right? But like that would be more so for my fully nutritional YouTube videos. And at this current moment in time, I'm happy recording like for fully nutritional YouTube videos on my phone, because I don't go on I go on adventure, but not as often to like have a vlogging camera. And when I record fully nutritional YouTube videos, I like to edit them in real time, so it's easier for my phone, right? However, if I could have used a vlogging camera to live stream vertical, that would be really cool. And that's what I'm like, I don't think you could do that with that, but I've never actually looked into it. So let me ask another dessert question, and then we can move on to a different topic, all right? Another one. Okay. So I'm gonna make another one. But if you haven't let me know, right, let me know, what'd you eat today? What did y'all do? Did you guys stay home? Did you go outside today? Stayed inside today. It was pretty cold outside. They typed the answer 2 times. Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay. So, which dessert is often mistaken for a cookie, but it's actually a sandwich? Is it a brownie? Is it a macaron or a macaroon, however you say it? Or is it biscotti? I've never had biscotti before, but I heard about that from Barbie. Life in the dream house. Okay. It's a good show. You learn a lot from watching Barbie, guys. Okay. What are we saying? Hey, Drake. Drake said, yeah, I'm not trusting food. You only bought lemonade. That can't be that bad. Well, you said it was some really good lemonade. What brand was it? Do you remember the brand? Kat said, yeah, the quality. Yeah, the quality would be amazing, because I've seen people, Cats, they record their videos with a vlogging camera, and then they will edit them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Like I'm saying, if you had disposable income, like where you could just spend it on something that you won't use often, I would get a vlogging camera, because like I would only use a vlogging camera for my fully nutritional YouTube videos, right? But like that's like $500, and I don't record fully nutritional YouTube videos that much. That's just where you throw the money away. But those fully nutritional YouTube videos, the quality would be so good. So that's what I'm saying. I live stream more. So like if they ever create a vlogging camera where like you could stream from it vertical, the quality would be really cool. What are you saying? Kat said, I still haven't eaten anything. Really? Okay. Oh, but grapes. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, some days you wake up and you're just not hungry, so I can understand that. If I'm not mobile. Yeah, I don't get hungry. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like when I was at school sometimes, and there would be holidays. I would, like, because on holidays I wouldn't do any schoolwork, or if I did schoolwork, it was like an hour. I wouldn't eat anything, and then my mom would always be like, you should eat. I'm like, I didn't use my brain today. Really didn't do nothing. I don't feel hungry until the night. And she's like, oh, you're starving yourself. No, I feel like you have to actively do stuff to eat. But I will starve myself sometimes. Look, the food is really bad. Kat said they just wanted to walk around their house today. They're not hungry. Okay, nice. Brennan said, okay. Oh, you went to work. Okay, only to find out no one else came in. I thought you had Monday off, but at least if no one else came in, were you able to go home? I thought most people, that was a generalization that I made, because I thought most people, right, they just canceled everything or transitioned everything to remote working, because like the state in which I attend school did that, New York did that, South Boston did that. People took the snow and they're like, nope, we ain't going out. Kat said maybe a macaron. Okay, cool. Vernon, that sucks. Yeah, it really does. But hopefully you dressed warm at least, and hopefully you got to leave early since no one was there. And if you didn't have to leave early, at least you got paid, right? Drake said, I made another salad. Okay, nice. I think I'm gonna, ooh, Bria taco. Sounds good. You're just gonna put, oh, it's just old-fashioned lemonade. Okay. Hey, Ron, what's it like in St. Louis, Missouri today? Glad you could be here from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. And you are welcome on the channel for your positivity and uniqueness. So make sure to like the video, consider subscribing, and joining the community today. Right now, it is Monday trivia today. So put in your final answers. Which dessert is often mistaken for a cookie, but is actually a sandwich? If you don't know the answer, just make a guess or an educated guess. Do you think it's a brownie? Do you think it's a macaron, or do you think it's biscotti? So put in your answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's end the polls, end the polls, end the poll. And 83% of y'all are correct. It is a macaroon, right? Or a macaron. How does Siri say it? Siri often says stuff correct. Sometimes.
Macaron.
Macaron. Macaron?
Macaron.
She's saying it wrong. That don't sound right. I feel like if I were to go to France and be like, can I have a macaron? They'd like look at me like, what are you saying? A macaron. So no, I don't think she's saying it right. But let's move on to another set of questions / topics. I know which one was, let's see, some winter storm questions could be interesting. Okay, let's see what comes up for some winter storm questions, guys. Yeah, macaron, like that's very funny too. Kat said macarons to begin. Autocorrect. Exactly. Jake said macaroon. Okay, so macaroon is how you say it. Okay. Claudia said, it got unexpectedly busy at work. OMG. Oh no. It's like, are you close to finishing, Claudia? Because that often happens. Like when you're close to ending your work day, it's like, oh, everybody, the crowd want to come in now, right? So let's see. Let's ask some questions about a snowstorm, right? Because for most of this weekend, we were living in a snowstorm, right? Brennan said, no, I'm not going to get paid. Oh, no. Ugh, that sucks. Trust and believe I'm going to HR tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. You went to work and they don't want to pay you, man. Wow. Okay, let's see. It's one of these questions again, guys. The answer choices are too long, so I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just post in the chat. Post in the chat, and then just put your answers in the chat because the answer choices are too long. There's a limit. Okay. 1 minute, guys. All right. So the question is, what is a blizzard officially defined by? Do you think it's heavy snowfall only? That's A. Do you think it's B, extremely cold temperatures? Do you think it's C, strong winds and low visibility? Or do you think it's D, ice accumulation? What are we thinking? What is a blizzard officially defined by? So Katz is thinking A, heavy snowfall. Okay, good guess, good guess. Nice, nice. Love to see it. All right, what else we got? Claudia said, I've never had a macaron either. Yeah, have I had one? Yeah, I think I had one, but I had one for McDonald's. When I went to Paris, I had one for McDonald's, so I don't think McDonald's makes good dessert, but I don't think it was a great judge of character. And I had one when I went to a buffet one time in America. It's okay. The only thing I noticed about the macarons is, like, the color of the cookie or the sandwich, according to the poll or whatever. Yeah. Trivia. It's associated with the flavor. So if you got pink, it was strawberry. And if you got like brown, it was like chocolate or coffee. And it makes sense when you think about it, but it was okay. Like the outside was very like, it had a little bite to it, right? And then the inside was kind of soft and chewy. It had a very distinct flavor that wasn't my favorite, so it's okay. I'll rate the macaroons that I've had like 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Yeah, because sometimes it was dry, sometimes it was a little too chewy. Kat said, oh yeah, Claudia, you're in a snow-free state. Yeah. Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, 57 degrees. 57 degrees. You're nice and warm. Kat said, yeah, I don't even know what flavor or texture of a macaroon is. They look dry. Yeah, they were kind of dry, some of them that I had. Hey, Oh, prank call? You want me to prank call someone, James? I've never prank called somebody. I don't think I would prank call somebody because your number's associated with that, right? And people do a lot of stuff with your phone number. Claudia said, in a snow state, do y'all still get paid if you don't go to work? I know what some states have been doing. They transitioned to remote work, Claudia. So if they transition to remote work, technically you're still working. You're just working from home, but maybe not for everyone. I don't know. Somebody else will have to answer that one. Kat said, okay, they'll go with A. Jordan is like all of the above. Is that an option though, Vernon? What else we got? Okay, Drake is like, they're saying C, but they feel like it's A. Okay. Kat said it depends on your job, I think, Claudia. Okay, nice. Cam said macaroons are my favorite, but there's some. Oh, they're expensive. Okay. They're so expensive. Your favorite's pistachio. I've never had a pistachio one. I feel like that'll be good. I'll have to try it because I have to try it because I like pistachio ice cream. Right? So I feel like any dessert with pistachio could be okay. Could be good. Claudia said A. Okay, nice. Drake said, Mia, you like M&M McFlurry? Yeah. That's not even the best McFlurry. What's the best McFlurry? Because I know there's M&M McFlurries. There was the Oreo McFlurry. I don't think I've ever had the Oreo McFlurry. My nephew, he had the s'mores McFlurry, but I didn't try it. It had too much stuff mixed up when he ordered that. I was like, I can't eat that, dude. So I like M&Ms, right? I just like the chocolate of the M&Ms, honestly. And then when you mix the M&Ms with when you mix the M&Ms with the vanilla ice cream, it kind of dyes the ice cream and it turns colorful. Right? And then you bite into it, so it's like it's cold, and then you get a bite to it. So that's why I like it. Hey, Stefan, how are you doing? Jake said, Cam, I was talking about pistachio yesterday. Hey, Philadelphia, how are you doing? I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. Y'all can refer to me as such. Glad you could be here. The algorithm knew that you want to be part of a community where you're welcome for your positivity and uniqueness, so I recommend the channel to y'all. Make sure to like the video, never unsubscribe so you don't have to leave. So, for the most part, you guys have put in your answers, and so far, only one person got it right. Wait, no. Did you get it right? Okay, yeah, only one person got it right, and the correct answer is C, snow, winds, and low visibility. So, Drake, you are correct. A blizzard is officially defined by strong winds and low visibility. Did I say slow winds? I think I said slow. But it's strong winds and with low visibility. So, yeah. Let's do another one. Actually the one that everyone went for, A, that was a trick question. So trick questions often have the next highest votes, right? So don't feel bad, right? I mean, you still got it wrong, but you were tricked together because it was one of the most common trick questions. So thank you guys for participating. Hopefully we now learned something new about snows and blizzards and etc. Okay, what else we got? Let's do this. Okay, let's do this one, guys. This one's a good one. McFlurry. What do we say? Should have been all of the above. Claudia said Oreo McFlurry, hands down. Okay, I have to try it. I've never had that one. Drake said Oreo McFlurry. It's just wrong to buy M&M McFlurry before the Oreo McFlurry. Yeah, the first one I ever had was Oreo. I never had the M&M. I've never had the Oreo. I have to try the Oreo, guys. Like, I've made Oreo ice cream at home, right? Because I've had ice cream, vanilla, and I've mixed the Oreo. So I kind of made my own Oreo McFlurry / Oreo ice cream, right? But when you go to McDonald's, I've never ordered. Okay, question for y'all. I think one of the reasons why I never ordered the Oreo McFlurry is because, you know the white part, like the cream from the Oreos? Is that in the ice cream? Because I don't like that. So when you get the McFlurry, is it just the cookies? If it's just the cookies without the white cream, I can get behind it. But, like, I don't want to be eating ice cream and then I taste that, like, sweet, like, ultra sweet cream. I don't like that. Jake's like, there we go. Brandon said, so a tornado can be compared, can be considered a blizzard. Is that what the question said? Or you asked me. I don't know. I have to Google that one. Yeah, I don't know, Vernon. Let me make this trivia question, this new one. Let me post it for y'all. And then I could do some, ask Google the answers to that one. If somebody knows the answer to Verdant's question, feel free to type in the chat, guys. Vernon asks, so a tornado can be considered a blizzard. Okay. All right, let me put this in. One second, guys. All right. So for this one, what is wind chill? Is it actual air temperature? Is it the amount of snowfall? Or is it how cold it feels due to the wind? What are we thinking wind chill is, guys? Okay. Kat said, yeah, because the Oreo gets nice and soft, but the M&Ms get hard and cold in the ice cream. So everybody is like, Mia, Oreos is the best. All right. Okay. Drake said it's just, the wind kicks up a lot. Snow. So we are subconsciously associating snow with a blizzard. Do I snore when I sleep? I don't think so. Kat said the white part. Okay, it's not in the McFlurry. Okay, cool. Brennan said, he's never here. I'm on the weather. Oh, topics on King of Weather? Yeah, King of Weather is definitely missing from these weather topic streams. Claudia said McDonald's changed their McFlurry spoons. It doesn't hit the same anymore. I haven't had one since like last year, so honestly, I don't even remember what the spoon looks like. I haven't had one in a while. Drake said, yeah, Claudia. I just buy cookies and cream ice cream when you want a McFlurry now. Kat said, right, Claudia, I hate that. Nowadays, they barely even blend. The stuff at the top, yeah. Last time I got a McFlurry, they used to blend it? Because I didn't know they used to blend it. When I was younger, guys, I never ordered McFlurries from McDonald's. I used to get the just the hot fudge sundae with peanuts. That's what I used to get. It used to be really good. I stopped getting hot fudge sundaes because sometimes they don't have peanuts, and then now they're like they don't have hot fudge sundae. So I didn't I feel like I tried a McFlurry when I was younger one time. I think when I was in elementary school, and then after I never got it again. And then the more recent time I got it was like I think last year. Yeah, for Bianca's birthday when we all went to McDonald's and everybody else was getting ice cream. And my nephew got a McFlurry, so I was like, let me taste the McFlurry. So I didn't even know they used to blend it up, but it would make sense to blend it up so it can be evenly distributed, right? Brandon said the third option. Okay, cool. Okay, Kat said they think it's the coolness because of the wind. Okay, so the third option as well. Kat said, remember being a kid and thinking the spoon was a straw, really? Dessert talk makes you so hungry, Evan. Claudia said they don't give out peanuts no more. I just thought they didn't have it anymore and they stopped at some McDonald's. They're getting cheap. That's what it is. McDonald's, y'all are getting cheap. Hot fudge sundae with the peanuts is the best thing ever. It's really, really good. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, what is that? 88 of y'all are correct, guys. 88 of y'all is correct. So shout out to you guys. The correct answer is C. Okay. Is there any other topics you guys want some trivia on, or do you just want me to go ahead and choose? I'll do one more winter blizzard / snowstorm question, right? But if there's any topics, we did pop culture, we just did some snow questions or blizzard questions, and now we are to start, what else did we do? We did something else to start. I forgot what it was. Financial questions we started off with. So those were the 3 we did already. What are some other topics that you guys want me to ask you questions on? So let me post the last winter questions for today. The trivia. Okay, guys. So, which snowflake shape is most common? Is it a perfect 6-point star? Is it a needle shape? Or are you thinking it's an irregular crystal? So, which snowflake shape is most common? Evan said they got it right. Nice. Congratulations, everybody who got that one right. Drake said, I used to get peanuts and granola. Granola? I've never had ice cream and granola before. Was it good? I feel like it gave it a crunch, but granola to me doesn't really have a taste. I used to like the Nature Valley granola bars. You eat that a lot. It used to be so messy though, so I stopped eating it. But like, it never really had a taste. That was good, but it never had a taste. Cam said you lost me at the granola ice cream, Jay. Yeah. Cam said you just finished the base Mia. I'll do the French tomorrow. Like I said, yeah, definitely do it tomorrow. Like I said, and try. And Cam, don't use duct tape. You know the tape. I don't have it in my room. Do I? No, I don't got it. But you know the tape that you use for like decorating? Or what is it? School supply tape? Let me see. I can find the name. It's a thin one. There's different layers of tape. Yeah, it's just, let's see the official name. Use tape like this. Like that. Use tape like that, because if you use tape that's really strong, like the duct tape or just the extra strong tape that's too thick, right, and too sticky, it's gonna peel off your nail polish base. So use that one. Yeah, yes, thank you, cats. Poster tape, yes, use poster tape. Yeah, that's gonna be helpful for that one. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, you can do it because your nail polish is gonna dry, so you can do it as soon as you wake up. And let us know how it comes out. Brennan said, I don't care what the topic is, just keep it easy. Okay. We'll keep it on easy mode, Brennan. Kat said, now they just put your toppings at the bottom and fill up the ice cream, then the toppings on top. Oh, wow. Cam said, and like sometimes, guys, do you like eat your whole McFlurries? Because when I got a McFlurry, I can, even in the past when I got it that one time when I was younger and when I got it last year, I didn't eat it out. It was too much ice cream, so I never even get to the top. I'll eat maybe like 25% or try to get to 50% if I want to like force myself to eat it out. Then I'll give it to my mom, be like, here, you want some ice cream? She's like, no. Then I'll just unfortunately have to throw it away because it's like too much. So I wish they sold like the small sizes of it too. I wish you could order the McFlurry small, medium, or large. That would also help too. Okay, Vernon said irregular crystals. Evan said irregular. They're tripping Drake. Kat said, I'm assuming the irregular crystals. Okay, it's more common because nature is unpredictable. That's a good analogy right there. Evan said chocolate sundae. Poster tape, yeah. Scotch tape. I think scotch tape might be too strong, is it? Yeah, scotch tape is, well, yeah, that's a good name for it. So yeah, as Vernon and Kat said, you can either use the poster tape or the scotch tape. Thanks for that, guys. So yeah, any one would work, Cam. Even if you have blue tape in your house, just use a tape that's not sticky and overly strong. Otherwise, it's going to peel off your nail polish. Cam said, I have a tiny tipped brush. That's new. I'm going to use that and dip it in the white for a thinner French because my nails aren't super long but short. Okay, nice. Yeah, so it'll be a more clean finish, right? Because remember, all the tape is going to be doing, it's going to build a template for you, and it's going to make sure that your lines are nice and straight, and it's going to make sure that your French tips on each nail are as even and symmetric as possible, right? So yeah, because sometimes because I free-handed French tips before, I do that all the time when I'm being lazy and I just want to finish my manicure, but it's never perfect because the freehand is too thick, right? But so the tape is just acting as that barrier. So even if you paint on the tape, it's gonna come off, right? Because you're painting on the tape, not your nail. Jake said, don't knock it till you try it. Okay, the granola ice cream. Okay, Big Nature Valley. Honey Oats is so good. Yeah, no, Nature Valley is good. Yeah, the Honey Oats one. Yeah, it was the green one that I got. Yeah, we can do some psych questions, cats. Yeah, we'll do some psychology questions next in the bio one. Yeah, we could do that. Very nice. Got said, I think that's why they make mini McFlurries now. Really? I didn't even know they had mini McFlurries. See, like, you see how long it's been since I've ordered ice cream from McDonald's. I did not know they had that now. It's like a kitty cup with the perfect amount. Okay, Brandon said, I've never had one. I don't trust eating ice cream from McDonald's. Their ice cream machine is always broken. That used to make me so upset when I was younger. I would go to McDonald's and I'm like, can I have ice cream? I would ask my mom to order me ice cream, like, oh, the ice cream machine is broken. Guys, in McDonald's defense, I would always go in the winter. I would always go in the winter and try to order ice cream. But at the end of the day, I'm like, The ice cream is on your menu 24 hours, right? Your menu doesn't change with seasons and the time of the day, right? So like you should have had the ice cream in the winter, McDonald's, but at the same time, I understand why your ice cream machine was always broken during the winter months, but it should have been working. So yeah. Drake said, I feel like I heard somewhere it's needle shape, okay? So that's what I'm going with, okay. But I know it's a regular one too. Okay, cool. Well, this question is asking about the most common, right? So the most common one, right? So all three could be correct, but which one's most common? To be honest, McDonald's ice cream isn't good. It's just nostalgia, yeah. Cam said, what McDonald's ice cream is good now, cats? But my favorite is Jenny's ice cream. I've never had that Jenny's ice cream. Oh, Brewster's. I've had Brewster's before. It's so funny. The first time I had Brewster's was in South America, in Guyana. So I thought it was a South American company because that was the first place I ever had Brewster's. And I remember I was in America one time, and I was like, Mom, isn't that Brewster's? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't know it was an American company. She's like, she didn't know either. That was funny. So the first time I ever had Brewster's was in Guyana, and it was really good because they got the natural ingredients there. They mixing that up good. And then you come to America. I've never had it in America, but like, it's really good in South America. Where's a mini mart? Do you mean Walmart? If you mean Walmart's, I feel like there's a Walmart in almost every 50 state, but I haven't been to all 50 states. If you're asking if there's a store called Mini Mart, I've never been to a store called a Mini Mart, but I know Walmart has different slang names. Vernon said, I've always heard no snowflakes. It's the same, so a regular one. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna end the poll. I'll end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You guys who said a regular crystals, 50% of y'all are correct. So shout out to y'all. So now let's find some psychology. Did you able to see that? It's so funny how you go to different screens and like it makes your face brighter. Can you tell which screen has dark mode on and light mode on? How do I turn on light mode? That's what I need. How in the world do I do that? It's so funny. I just noticed that, guys. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. I like this question because we see this a lot in society. I like this one. Okay. It's just psychology now we're moving on to, guys. But welcome everybody to the stream. Glad y'all could be here. I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, Professional Writing, Master's degrees in Public Administration and Criminal Justice, and you're welcome for your positivity and uniqueness. So do consider liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community today if you haven't already. Shout out to all the supporters who are already subscribed to the channel. I really, really appreciate y'all. So this question I'm gonna have to post it in the chat because once again, it's too long to be posted in a poll format. So the question is, what is the bystander effect? Do you think it's A, people panic in emergencies? Do you think it's B, people help more in groups? Do you think it's C, people are less likely to help when others are present? Or do you think it's D, people follow authority? What are we thinking the bystander effect is, guys? Brandon said they only eat McDonald's. McChickens with no mayo and fries. Y'all, good order. Kat said the only thing I get from McDonald's is fries. Okay, and they have to be fresh. Yeah, the fresh fries is good. The chicken nuggets used to be good, but they're nasty now. And you couldn't pay me to eat a burger from there. Right, their fries are good, especially like if you get them salted or non-salted, right? Like the key to getting McDonald's fries hot all the time, you got to get them unsalted because they're going to fry it fresh for you because you'll have to have the first batch, but you just have to wait a little longer. But it's really good when it's like hot and unsalted. When it's salted, it's good too. Drake said McDonald's apple pies. Yeah, the apple pies are good. They're white now? Okay, I haven't had one in a while. I don't want a white apple pie. Ew. Yeah, if they don't look cooked, they may not be cooked. That'll psych me out. Like I said, I eat with my eyes first, and then if it smells good, I'll eat. If it smells bad, I ain't eating that. Evan said, you have chocolate apple pies? A chocolate apple pie. That sounds good. I will taste a chocolate apple pie. That sounds so unhealthy, but I would taste that, honestly. Kat said the reason the ice cream machines was always broken because they bought it from manufacturer. Okay, who needed specific technicians to come out. Okay, so they were being truthful. Okay. And to fix machines, they couldn't hire local people to fix it. Okay. I'll be back when the psychology questions are over, Brendan said. Your questions and answers were incorrect. Okay. Drake said, well, always fact check me. Like, I could be wrong. Like, I'm not the one making the question. Just came from a website, guys. The websites could be wrong. I'm always telling y'all. On the Unique Linear channel, particularly with the live streams, fact check me. If I say something you think it's incorrect, look for the correct answer, give me the source, and we can be like, okay, it's wrong, right? The only time I tell you guys that the only time I tell you guys to like watch one of my videos and be like, oh, this is fairly accurate, is when I make an education video that's a full nutritional YouTube videos. Because for those education videos that are full nutritional YouTube videos, my notes are in front of me that I took, and they're supported by research. But when I talk on stream, 9 times out of 10, I particularly for trivia, I'm asking you stuff that's not underneath my jurisdiction for trivia. Like I always tell you guys, I'm your psychology researcher. I'm your writer. I can talk to you guys about criminal justice, public administration, because that's what I have studied. When we come to everything else, particularly for this trivia thing, I could be getting this wrong. Same way with y'all, right? So yeah. And fact checking is good. Fact check me, because when you watch the news and when you hear people talk to your family or just when you speak to your friends, etc., you will by default fact check them and not take what they're saying as fact. Because taking what one person says as fact, or if you're watching another video and you take what somebody says as fact who you don't even know sometimes, that's very dangerous and it's not good at all. So yeah, this makes you more well informed when you fact check people. Drake said, we said incorrect, so can't side with you. Oh, I said incorrect. Oh, if I said incorrect, then everyone who said irregular crystals, you guys are correct with that one. The people who didn't say that, you were incorrect. Because we were looking for the most common answer, right? Not all of them. So yeah. Millsy said it's better. Okay. For that one, Kat said if wait. YouTube ice cream machine always broken. There's a video explaining. Oh, okay. So you're saying on YouTube there's a video. Okay. So maybe I'll check it out if I remember. I'll definitely check that one out. Wait, I lost the trivia questions. Okay, here it is. I found them again. The bystander effect. I mean, I know the answer to this one, so I don't really need it when we pull up. All right. So you guys said C. Okay, good guesses. C. Okay, nice. C. No, the bystander effect is a real thing, Millsy. You can see it in society, honestly. You see it all the time, really. That's something supported by research, I believe. Okay. Jake said it's C, but I wouldn't say, it's quite like that. Okay. Vernon said, I'm less likely to help if others are there. Let one of them. Exactly. And as Vernon just said, you see it being true in that aspect. So I guess I told you the correct answer. The correct answer is C, right? The bystander effects exist when people are less likely to help when others are present. And that is a real thing that has been supported by research numerous times, right? So, obviously looking in different situations, depending on what the setting is, that can change, right? Because there are some video circulate on social media where people are, I don't know, being assaulted or they're in danger, and there will be just genuinely good Samaritans there who just want to go out, or just people out of the norm who are large groups of people who are walking into the situation. However, when you look at the definition of the bystander effect and the experiments that has been conducted to support the bystander effect, we can see it. Even if you watch some social media videos, there are people on social media who actually just reenact scenes, and sometimes people will I saw a video the other day where a social media content creator, they dressed as somebody who had a hijab on, right? And they were literally like in Manhattan, and they saw somebody walk up to the woman who had the hijab on, and the guy was just yelling at her. And it was Century Park, and everybody was looking at the situation. And out of that, it was very rare that people walked up to the woman with the hijab and helped her, right? Or just ask if you're okay. However, when another person, when they conducted the experiment again, and the woman wasn't wearing a hijab, was the same woman, different day, without a hijab, and a guy walked up to her and yelled at her, you know how many people intervened into the situation and tried to help her? So that more was so looking at characteristics of people, but the bystander effect does hold true. Sometimes when you are in situations and people are getting yelled at, or if people are in dangerous situations, you'll just look. You'll just look and you won't do anything, right? So that's why if you are ever in a dangerous situation, particularly if you are a male, you can do this as well. But like if you are a female and you are in a situation where you need help and it is something and you are yelling like help, help, and nobody's doing anything, you gotta yell, I do not know this person. I do not yet know this person, right? Because unfortunately in society, I don't know where this trend emerged, but I guess it's friends, right? Friends will sneak up on people, friends will grab people, things like that. That has happened. So that happens in the daily. Like if you go on a train, if you're outside, that happens with friends sometimes, right? So when we see that happen, right, sometimes, or people's like, stop, stop, we associate that with being your friend, right? But that could be the bystander effect where you're generally in danger, you need help, but nobody else is helping. So we're just going to look at them. It's too late. So yeah, a little bit about when I learned about that, it was very interesting. But when I critically like tried to analyze it, I'm like, hey, that's actually pretty true, right? Even myself, even my mom and I myself, right? I'll admit we've been in situations, right, where people are like sometimes getting yelled at on the train with people who have those mental health conditions. I use mental health conditions very loosely because there'll just be regular people on the train who are just rude and disrespectful. They'll be yelling at people, right? And that person sometimes needs help, right? And they'll walk away. Even, what is it? 3 days ago, my mom and I, we were in downtown Brooklyn. A woman fell down. A woman, literally, an older woman, she literally fell down on the sidewalk. Do you know how many people walked straight past her? It was only my mom and myself and another stranger who actually stopped to help the woman stand back up. What do you mean you walked past an old woman who literally face planted on the ground? That was crazy. So yeah, bystander effect. A little bit. So what are you saying? Cam said chocolate apple pie is Big Nice Drake. Halsey said the bystander effect relies on many variations of people, environment, situations, and fields. Exactly, as I said. So yeah, it can definitely change depending on what type of environment you're in, for sure, but it does exist. Saying it doesn't exist at all, you can't say whatever you want, but that's not good to say, right? So it exists in certain situations, but there are other situations where the bystander effect, it will be disproven, right? And that's what research is. Sometime you'll conduct a study and your research will be proven. In this circumstance, you conduct the study again, it's disproven in that circumstance, right? Brennan said, I don't think chocolate and apples go together. Now apples and caramel are a match made in heaven. I don't think I've ever had caramel. Jake said, chocolate apple pie. I don't know, Mia just said. Yeah, I thought you said that chocolate apple pie. I saw somebody say chocolate apple pie was really good. Thank you, Love Positive, for the super chat. Sorry, did not shout you out immediately when you did that. It did not come through. I'm trying to heart it. It's not. Okay, hearted it. Hearts to you, Love Positive. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to Love Positive. They purchased $1.99 super chat for today's stream. You're helping get one step closer to paying off my student loan debt. Hearts to you. I really appreciate your donation to the channel. Thank you so much for that. How are you doing today, Love Positive? Glad you could be here. Especially shout out to you for today. I'm doing okay, Deputy. How are you doing today? Hey, Sophia. Cam said your comments are off cats, but the nails are so cute. Yeah. Brennan said most of the time, people need to mind their business. That's how people get hurt. Kat said, thanks for letting me know, Cam. I just turned them back on. I don't know why they were off. Yeah, sometimes when you upload videos, YouTube automatically does that. Drake said, It's the same as driving past a car on the side of the road when the hazard's on. If no one else stopped to help, I'm not either. Yeah, and that's circumstance via circumstance, right? So that, as I said, depending on the situation you're in or what environment you're in, you will stop, you will not, right? Because if same thing, like you said, if it's the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, I'm not stopping in the side of the road, right? But if I'm outside and I'm walking, right, and I see it happen right in front of me, and I'm comfortable to intervene and do something, I'm going to do something, right? So, yeah, but like, obviously, do what makes you safe first, right? Cats is like Millsy wants people to care so bad. Do I believe in the moon? Are you asking me if I think the moon is real? Yeah, I think the moon is a real thing for sure. So let me find another one. Another question for y'all. This one's a good one. This is like one of the first things you learn when you take psychology classes. Not even lying. Literally intro to psych class and every class after, they always mention this. Researchers do research in class too. Alright. So for the psych majors and psych minors, this question is a little biased towards y'all. Alright, but it's a good one for the non-psych / research people. Really too long again? Okay, I'll post this question in the chat. This one's too long as well for me to make a poll for it. Okay. So, what is confirmation bias? Do you think it's A, remembering everything clearly? Do you think it's B, avoiding new information? Do you think it's C, favoring information that supports existing beliefs? Or do you think it's D, trusting experts blindly? What is confirmation bias in your opinion, right? Brendan said some green apple slices dipped in caramel sauce is the best. Okay, if I ever see them, I'll definitely try it. If I remember a situation and it looks good and the price is right. And I remember Kat said, all right, I have to say all that because sometimes I'm saying I'm gonna try this and I forget when I go to the store, or like mostly I forget. But yeah, Kat said, all right, I'm going to try and see if I have an appetite for anything in my fridge. Hope I'm not getting sick. Yeah, hopefully you're not getting sick. Yeah, my mom was coughing a little bit today. It's the cold. But if you have to just eat crackers and cheese, something light is good. Drake said, I used to get McDonald's apple dippers as a kid. Oh yeah, I never got those, but like my nephew was like a toddler and he used to get Happy Meals. I would eat his apple slices. Kat said people are starting to think the moon isn't real. Really? Oh no, that's just a question. Okay. Yeah, but like soon they're gonna be like the sun's not real. It's crazy. But I guess I can understand why they question the moon, because depending on where you go, it's mostly depending on how much pollution is in the country you reside, you won't see the moon because of the pollution in the air, right? So I guess I can understand it to an extent, right? Brendan said, I have to really analyze the situation and weigh the risks and not nobody come one person. Okay. All right. Kat said C for sure. C. Brendan said it's A, B, C, or D. Brendan, if this was an exam, you would have to choose one. That's funny, man. Okay, guys. Any other final answers? Brendan's like, I think either A, B, C, or D. Am I right? You are correct, and one of those is correct, but you did choose one. All right, guys. Put in your final thoughts, your answers. I'm gonna ask the question again. What is confirmation bias? Is it remembering everything clearly? Is it avoiding new information? Is it favoring information that supports existing beliefs? Or is it trusting experts blindly? So the correct answer is C. It is favoring information that supports existing beliefs. So shout out to everyone who got that one. Agreed on. Yeah, confirmation bias is a real thing. And if you try to avoid it, sometimes you avoid it. Like one thing that I have to grow out of, particularly when you get into grad, or not even grad school, but like an undergrad, when I was like a senior, that's what I started to use evidence that did not support my beliefs, right? Because like obviously you would find articles that support your belief, right? But then sometimes you read an article and you're like, oh, this is actually a valid point. but it's like goes completely against my whole entire paper. I remember the first time I did that, I was so scared that I would like get like not a good grade on the paper, but I used that source anyway, right? And I had to specifically use the source and say why I still not why I use it, but like phrase it in the paper, structure it well. But I had to do that because you needed to reach like the source limit, and it was actually pretty good. So sometimes using evidence that goes against your belief, right? Or using evidence that's not in line with the confirmation bias aspect is really good. It's a really good thing, right? And that's what people need to do more in society, right? Whether you are just talking to somebody, whether you're planning on buying clothes, whether you are looking to see which candidate to support, or etc., you gotta go against the confirmation bias idea of favoring evidence or information that supports your own belief, because you could find multiple evidence that supports your belief, whether that's related to fashion, politics, or etc. However, if you are ignoring the evidence that does not support your belief, you're not getting the full story, and then later on when something happens that you don't like, you're complaining. Yes, you did. You just didn't look at all your information, right? So don't use the confirmation bias in your life, right? And it's going to be a much better society and well-informed people who are able to critically think and analyze before you make a decision, right? Drake said, it's like, if I run outside shirtless, I feel like I'm going to get sick. If my throat gets scratchy, I'm like, see, I called it exactly, exactly, Drake, right? I feel like the main way we see confirmation bias, particularly in parents, and parents in particular, they use it with little kids when they tell little kids what career kids should get. You guys already know that I am an advocate against telling little kids what they should be when they grow up, right? I don't think that should be done, right? Who knows? Maybe it's up to me. Maybe that's what I don't know. But I feel like parents, they use confirmation bias a lot in their life, right? They're like, oh, you should become an astronaut. And they label all the positives of an astronaut, right? And they take all the evidence that favors why your kid should be an astronaut. You tell this kid this, and the kid's like, oh, that's great, right? However, you don't tell the kids the negative, because you as a parent, you didn't look into the negative. You didn't know the negative or all the biased beliefs before, right? So confirmation bias, I say that because it can apply to any aspect of your life, guys. Anywhere it can apply. So yeah. So let's go to some bio questions, right? And then after bio, if there's any other topics that you guys would like me to ask you trivia questions on, type in the chat and I'll be more than happy to do that. And remember, I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia, and I got fashion videos, travel videos, Eat With Me, technology videos, days of my life as a graduate student, and so much more on the channel. I also have a coloring book called Uniquely Mia's Coloring Book, and stay safe out there. I don't know why you outside. Well, they could go in somebody's house, but stay safe. So we got Uniquely Mia's Coloring Book. This book is available to be purchased on Amazon. You can find the book by going to my YouTube page playlist. It'll take you straight there, or you can type in Uniquely Mia's Coloring Book onto Amazon, right? It has 77 pages, and it's there to aid in your positivity. If you would like some Uniquely Mia merch, this can be great. We are having our first meet and greet very soon on February 1st, guys. So if you guys would like to meet Uniquely Mia in person at the meet and greet, go to my YouTube homepage, click post, and read my post for all the information. I'll repost it, so it's going to be up again for y'all. And if you cannot come to the meet and greet, if you just don't want to come, don't worry, I will be live streaming the whole entire event for y'all on YouTube. I'm gonna try and live stream as much as possible for that event, so stay tuned for that. So let's see what else you guys are saying. Vernon said that's kind of like zodiac signs. You only hear the positive. Exactly. Like you really do only hear the positive unless you take like a deep dive and do a critical analysis on that. And Drake is like, yeah, you just cherry pick things you already believe. Exactly. Cherry pick things you already believe, or cherry pick things that you like about it. You're ignoring all the negative flaws for it. So yeah. But let's go in and let's find let's do some bio questions. I don't see any more interesting psych question. This could be an interesting psych question. Okay. I'll ask you this psychology question, this last one. I feel like this one will be interesting. And then we can go on to some bio. Yeah, bio questions. I forgot what questions for a second. So what's tomorrow like for y'all? Do you guys have to go back to work tomorrow? Did you get lucky? And you get another remote work day at home for the people who had the remote work days, or is it back to like the regular scheduled programming for y'all for tomorrow? The regular scheduled programming. No, I'm not lagging. I'm still here, I think. No, I'm not lagging. Yeah, I'm still here. On my stream, it's working for me. Or like, I'm not on my stream, but I logged into my laptop to see the stream. It's working for my internet. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the halo effect. What do you think the halo effect refers to? Do you think it's A, seeing lights during stress? Do you think it's B, first impressions fading? Do you think it's C, assuming positive traits based on one good trait? Or do you think it's D, overconfidence? What are we thinking the halo effect is? Kat said, yeah, there's work tomorrow, but tonight the snow won't stop until 11 p.m. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, stay warm, right? If you gotta go, well, since you have to work, if they don't cancel the last minute, since you gotta go back out, remember to dress warm. Layering is the key. You gotta wear like 2 pair of tights. You gotta wear like 4 shirts. Gotta stay warm, guys. Hot chocolate, coffee, whatever, tea, whatever you drink to keep y'all warm. I'm looking for more trivia questions for biology. Okay, Kat said C. Drake said B. Brenna said C. Oh, Drake, you changed your answer to C. Okay, cool. What even has the answer? Okay. So put in your final votes. I'm looking for some more. This is a good one. Put in your votes, guys. What are we thinking? I can see your halo. Yeah. Yeah, Beyonce. It's like Beyonce, almost any word you could think about. I feel like Beyonce turned it into a song a little bit. So, like, somebody should look into that. I guess a Beyonce super fan, right? Because, like, if you say the word brown, we got brown skin girl, right? Single ladies, like, that's in it. Who run the world, girls. So, yeah, that's a really good song. When I was younger, I was obsessed with that song. I would copy the dance. Did you guys do that? Like, for that song or any song? Like, I remember when, that's the name of the song, Who Runs the World Girls, I think. But I would copy the dance because it's a really cool dance. So for everyone who said C, y'all are correct. The answer is C. So halo refers... What was C? Yeah, halo refers to assuming positive traits based on that one good trait. So almost like you ignore the red flags. So you saw one trait that you liked, and you're like, oh, this person's nice and great. This person's wonderful. You ignore all the red flags because it's one trait, right? So yeah. So for the bio question, what gas do plants release during photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, or do you think it's hydrogen? What are we saying? Vernon said, I don't think you're ready for the show. Jake said, if you like one thing, you like everything. Yup, that's a great way to phrase it. Yeah, exactly. Like, so like if you like the one positive thing, you guess you gotta like the red flags too, right? Run away from red flags, guys. Red flags in anybody. Your friends, your family members, anybody's not good. Don't stick around for that. That's crazy, dude. Remember, you choose who you surround yourself with, all right? Kat said, Mia, were you obsessed with Check Up on It by Beyonce? Because I think it's a Pink music video. I don't think I've ever saw that one. I don't think I've ever seen that one, Kat. I think that's where I fell in love with Pink. I don't think I've ever seen that one. What's the name of it? I probably heard the song, but not the music video. I'm gonna have to watch that after the stream. It is Pink! Wow. I mean, it's muted. It's playing on my laptop, but it's muted. I never saw this video before, Kat. Guys, it's Pink. It's Pink. I don't know who that guy is, but it's Pink. And purple, very cool. It has like, what is it, the 2000s vibe? When was the song released? I could see the early 2000s, like camera quality and like editing there. Wow. That's really cool. I never even saw this music video before. I haven't seen a lot of her music videos. Like, I've heard her songs, but I haven't seen a lot of her music videos. I really haven't. I've seen the Single Ladies music video. I saw the one where she was in a wedding dress and like Who Run the World Girls. I saw Brown Skin Girl, and I think those were like the 4 music videos by Beyonce I've seen that I can actively recall. Okay, I started the poll, right? Yeah, the poll's on. Right. Okay, Brennan said A, carbon dioxide. Kat said the halo effect is pretty much why. Yes, exactly. We have pretty privilege. That's a great assumption right there, Cats. That's a great assumption. So that, and okay, so guys, if you don't know what pretty privilege is, I feel like most people know this, right? But like for those who don't, Kat said, is it because, or Kat is thinking it's because of the halo effect that pretty privilege exists. So we're just sharing my opinion on that is yeah, because pretty privilege is saying somebody who's like stereotypically and socially acceptable pretty, right? People will make excuses for them or give them more stuff. We see it often with criminals. There was that criminal in New York who, what is it? That's not funny. Don't do that. But he was going viral to me. Do not do that. That's not acceptable at all. But just because people said he was pretty on social media, because after that happened, I went on social media. I was on TikTok, and my whole For You page was saying, "Free the guy." But people was like, yeah, they were justifying his crime because they said the CEO wasn't a positive person, right? But people were like, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent, mostly because the guy's pretty. Do you know there was another person who committed a crime and his mugshot, he became a model off of his mugshot? I don't know who he is, but I was on TikTok the other day and that popped up. Literally, the guy committed a crime. And you know when you commit a crime, you take a mugshot? He got scouted because of his mugshot. Because his face was so unique, people said. And they were like, he's pretty, according to modeling agencies. And now he's no longer incarcerated, and he's walking the runways of Milan and all that. Like, how's that fair? How's that work? It's really crazy. It's like the really rich get stuff, or it's the people who commit the crimes to get the stuff. I don't know, their way of thinking or what. I don't know. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah. What else we got? What gas do plants release during photosynthesis? And like, they get all the government stuff too, right? Like, the really wealthy people, they obviously are rich, so they already got the money and the connections. But the people who are either really poor or the people who are incarcerated, they get an education for free, they get in the groceries for free, they get in the housing for free, they get all this stuff for free. Now, mind you, I don't want to be really low income and I would never commit a crime, but it really shows how society is low-key messed up, right? And mind you, I am an advocate for rehabilitation and all that because I am a criminal justice, what is it? I study that, but I saw somebody who was in prison. He graduated from Harvard the other day. I saw another time I was like some prison in San Francisco to aid in their rehabilitation. They gave an offender a job that's literally paying him like $100K. You're in jail. Why you getting so much money? Why you graduating from Harvard, right? You committed a crime. That's great rehabilitation, right? But for the people who actually never committed a crime and lived ethically in society and worked hard for the degrees, you're giving it to these people, right? It's really messed up, guys, but great rehabilitation. That just came to my thought now that we were talking about it. But more of the story, yes, pretty privilege is a real thing, and that's why it exists in society. We can say it's because of the halo effect. So let's read up these comments, putting your answers. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3. I ate with that. 2 and 1. Let's end the poll. So, the gas that they release during photosynthesis is oxygen. So yeah, for everyone who said C, y'all would be correct. Let's find another one for y'all before I read up the read the comments. I know I'm a little behind. So let me ask y'all this question here. Let me make a poll, guys. Cats like Mia always eats. Thank you so much for your kind words, Cats. Oh, thank you, because you know what? Not a lot of people think I eat with the toe. Like, I say really cool stuff. I tell y'all, I could I could be a motivational speaker. Like, I just be spitting stuff. Like, you know, like, well, y'all ask me a question, and I try and connect it back to my schooling, and I try to connect it to my opinions, and I'm like, hey, that sounds really good. That sounds good. So thank you guys. You guys said I ate with that one, so y'all like. So I said it in a cool way, and you liked what I said, is what I'm hearing. All right, so let me make this poll, and we can get started. You guys can get started by answering this, and I can read up some of the questions for y'all. Because I know I'm behind, or your comments, not questions. So the question is, what is the basic unit of life? Is it an atom? Is it a molecule? Is it tissue, or is it cell? What did I do? Okay, never mind. All right, let's read these comments. That's an old video. Oh, it's Slim Thug. Okay. I don't know who that is. I'll listen to the song after the stream. I can't listen to it now. I could, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So I'll listen to it after. My laptop's going to be open, so I'll remember to do it. Kat said, stop playing around with all the clowns. Exactly. And, the waxers. Good girls gotta get down with the gangsters. Oh, that's the lyrics. Oh, okay, cool. I thought you were saying that to stay away from the red flags. I thought that's what you were talking about. But yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. Because it's pink, and I've never heard that song. And then he's wearing purple, so pink and purple. Love the colors. Really pretty. Kat said yes. You saw the picture, Kat. Kat said yes, that handsome mugshot guy. Yeah, you saw it. Do you know the guy ended up dating a real-life princess? What? And that's crazy. And he got all of that from him getting incarcerated and just him taking a picture, right? You committed a crime, and now his life is much better than what it was before he committed the crime. So you know what? Shout out to the modeling agency, because it acted as a good form of rehabilitation, hiring that person to become a model, right? He's getting paid a lot of big bucks. He dated a real-life princess, right? But at the same time, you rewarded extremely bad behavior right there. Like, what? But I heard something the other day. It's like billionaires, right? No billionaire is ethical. So when you think about that, man, I guess no successful person is truly ethical. All right. I mean, like, yes, there are successful people who are ethical, but yeah, you got to go the long route. And even when you go the long road, sometimes in a long route, there's no guarantee. So you need to become a little corrupt and a little not good to be successful super duper quickly, right? That's not going to be me, but I'm just saying, if you're looking at society and what society tends to reward, it's messed up, in my opinion. Jake said, what is it? Kat said, me always eats, me stay hungry. Kat said, my sister is a motivational speaker. Awesome, nice. She says sometimes she feels like she's scamming people, but they genuinely give her bags of money just to speak. No, and like I can see how it feels like that, right? Because like I remember when I was in RA, my school would hire people. Like I remember my school had, when I was on RA, they had an event where this guy came and he was just like speaking to like the students, first year students, about how he succeeded in college. I'm like, what are you talking about? That guy was like how he came to college for the first time. He was failing all his classes. He was partying. But then one time he spoke to his professor, and his professor told him this. And from that moment, he realized that if he put his mind to anything, he could. It sounded like a whole bunch of cliche stuff. Like, he did not motivate me personally. But I looked at him in that moment. I was like, what are your connections? Like, you did good. Because, like, as long as you got, as long as you have the support, right? And because somebody's old, and you know what it connects to, right? I feel like, especially since you said your sister feel like she's scamming people. I don't think your sister is scamming people. I think if your sister was hired to be a motivational speaker, there are people who are actually motivated because of her, right? And she has that support of them, right? But I feel like what happens when we look at motivational speakers, particularly with the ones that I've seen from my school who come and speak to students, I guess it's like, I don't know. I guess since I was already a high-performing student, it motivated me, right? Since I already was, I was already driven for success, right? There are some people who need that extra push. So when you hear those people talk who are like telling you how they started off from ground zero, if you're not at ground zero, but yet you're not where you want to be, and you hear that person giving you the push, I guess I can see how it works as a form of motivation, right? And like, there's always an audience for everybody, right? So as I always tell y'all, You guys say I can't sing. I agree with you. I don't think I'm like win an Oscar or not Oscars for acting. I don't think I'm gonna win a Grammy. That's for singing, right? Anytime soon. But I'm fairly confident. If I were to get some auto tune on my voice, if I have a song that is written by a really great writer who can like put those lyrics together and like those rhyming or whatever together, I think there's an audience out there for me to make it, maybe not big, but for me to make a decent income off of me singing, right? It's the same thing with that motivational speaker aspect. And it's not even that, it's just you need the opportunity. It's all about the opportunity of stuff, guys, right? So, yeah, sometimes it's not even about talent. It's just like, you had the right connections, you had the right opportunity to be put in this space, and thus by default you will be successful. It's like another example for y'all to relate it back to Kat's comment a little bit and to put into perspective for you guys about the power of opportunity. I'm not gonna name names, right, because these are super famous celebrities, but you can do your own research, right? But the new creative director of of Christian Dior, the new creative director of Christian Dior, do your research about that person, right? What experience in the world do you have to be a new creative director? You're around the same age as me, I feel like. Indicated to my age. You're maybe a little older than me. Have you seen the stuff he's dropped recently that Christian Louis Vuitton is selling? The shoes, the bags, the belt? That is scamming people. That is so ugly and scamming people. There's a belt he's selling. It literally looks like fur. But you know why he's going to make money off of that? And you know why Christian Louis Vuitton is going to make money off of that? Because that person is famous. That person is a Nepo baby. And that person had the opportunity just to be in that space, right? So, yeah. As I always tell you guys, sometimes people are really, really qualified, but you don't got the opportunity. So, it's a lot harder to get into said spaces. So, yeah. Vernon said, no, I've been noticing Mia's been saying some slick stuff. I've been telling people all the really cool, classy ways. All right, thanks. Jake said it's a cell. Okay, Brandon said it's an atom. Okay, all right, cool. It's an atom. Atoms are the basic unit of matter. Got confused. The answer is a cell. Drake says if Drake is committed to the answer is a cell. All right. Okay, let's see what we're saying. All right. And Drake, that's why you're in med school. The answer is a cell. So, yeah, you're a headshot with that one. So, shout out to everyone, but the basic unit of life is a cell, guys. Is a cell. So, they said, yeah. I'm going to think about another topic. Let me answer some of these questions, and we'll figure out another trivia topic for y'all. Let's see. What about Black Goo subs? Is it Conway Adam? I don't know what a Black Goo sub is. Black Goo Substance time. Hey, No, how are you doing today, Neo Eric? Glad you to be here. Drake said, imagine getting in a car and saying, put on that Unique Lumiere album slaps. No, I have an audience out there, guys. I'm telling you, I'm confident that and you know why I can say that? Because personally for me, I've heard some people sing and they're not like super duper famous singers, but like people have bought their songs, so they're making, I guess, a cool income from it. They cannot sing to me, and they have shows. I'm like, what are you doing? Or like if you hear them singing without the auto tune, I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like it doesn't sound good to me, right? It does not sound good to me. So it's similar with taste buds. You tell me it's really good, and when I taste, I'm like, it's not my favorite, guys, right? It's the same thing with like what you like the stories you like to read, the music you like to hear. It's what is that person's taste bud? Like what do they want, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's very similar. So I'm telling you, one day, let me see, how much is it to rent out a recording studio and make a song? How much is it to make a song? Let me see, make a song. Oh, snap, bro. We ain't doing that. Oh, my gosh. They said it's $0 to over $20,000 to make a song. Ugh. We gonna do the low end / deal it yourself method, where it's between $30 and $100. What do you mean, $2,000, $20,000? Between $2,000 and $20,000. So I feel like if I were to commit to it and get one good song, it'd be good. Because I remember I wrote a song for my mom already, guys. I already wrote a song for my mom, and I already sang a song for my mom, but that was when I was like in, I don't know, high school? So my voice sounds much younger, but I remember I posted it for you guys one time on social media. And if you scroll my YouTube shorts, you'll find I'll repost it for you guys soon. I'll edit a video for my mom and I'll post it. But the reason why I say edit a video for my mom is because it's a song for her, so obviously she'll have to be in the video, right? But I remember I posted the video, and most of the supporters in the past, like when I posted it, they were like, "Mia, is that you? Mia, is that you?" Because like they kind of knew it was me because they heard my voice, but they didn't know it was me, and they were like, "You don't sound bad." Some of them were like, "You don't sound bad. This is actually pretty sweet. This is actually pretty cool, right?" So I say all that to say, there's an audience out there. You just need to find the audience, guys. So yeah. Okay. Do you snore when you sleep? Yeah, Anthony, I snore when I sleep. Do you snore when you sleep? Kat said, yeah, as soon as Drake gave the explanation, I was like, oop, that's actually right, yeah. Drake is like the person we want on a science exam, where we're taking the exam and Drake, you're talking aloud. that's what we need. That's what your classmates want. You're taking the exam, but you talking aloud, so we'll figure out the answer together, guys. That said, honestly, Anthony is part of the family. Have a good night, fam. Exactly. Welcome to the Uniquely Mia family, Anthony. Continue to be uniquely you, Anthony. Continue to ask that question, right? Drake said, nah, but Cats, you're smart, though. Yeah, you're really good, though, Cats. Yeah, and everyone is smart. All my supporters are smart, right? But, like, you're also good at, like, the general knowledge and, like, the astrology questions. That's your strong suit, Cats. Based on the trivia, in my opinion, based on the trivia, I feel like you're very good at, like, the astrology and, like, some of the anatomy is really good. What are you saying? Vernon said, Mia, you should do a little rap about, okay, Mia. Say your name. Wait, see your name is already in the word word. Okay, you're good. Gotta accentuate the words a little bit. Is that a person? Well, I've never rapped, really. Oh, you mean academic? Oh, like academic? Oh, okay. Yeah, when you guys shorten words sometimes, guys, I'm not good at, like, paraphrase analogy. I remember one time I went to the writing center, and the writing assistant was like, para. He was like, para 1 is good, and para 2. I was like, what are you talking about, para? He's like, paragraph. Didn't click us immediately. So you want me to rap about academics? I mean, I'm not really a rapper. I could do it with auto-tune, right? I could do it. So yeah, I could write something down like rehabilitation is good for a fan. Okay, I'm not taking the rapping seriously, but I could do that for it. I could do it. Yeah, that sounds a good idea, honestly. I'll write that down. That'll be fun to write out the lyrics for it. Where's my iPad? I have to text my iPad. Write a rap/song about academics. You better go to school and get your degree. Otherwise, you're gonna be at home looking at nothing to do. You better go out and get educated. If you're not gonna be educated, you better get a job that's making a lot of money. And one of the ways society tells us to do that is to go and get that degree and get the education. That was okay. That was really funny. So yeah, we could do that, like karaoke. I could like write the song and I could like sing it at karaoke, and it could be really, it could be like finish my karaoke. That could be cool. What are we saying? Hey, Matt, how are you doing today? Jake said, we all know Mia super smart. Thank you so much for your kind words, Jake. I really appreciate it. I am definitely smart in certain areas for sure, right? But if I was super smart, I would have developed the gadget by now. But thank you. I do know I'm smart. And you are smart as well. As I say, all of Uniquely Mia supporters are smart. So let's do, I think maybe one more trivia segment for today? General knowledge is always a hit. So we could do some general knowledge, and that's going to be like more accessible for people, particularly because I know science, you really have to have like that science niche or pull from like elementary school or high school, particularly for me, right? So let's do some general knowledge. That's going to be really cool. So general knowledge trivia questions. Go ahead. Mia will do Will Smith rap. Reddit said, add auto-tune and gear it towards little kids. Seriously, you might go viral. Really, Bren? Okay. I'm gonna take the idea from you, Bren. I'm gonna do that for sure. Thanks for the idea. It's a good idea. I'm gonna try that. Okay, I think I asked y'all that before. Ooh, this one's good. This one's a good one. I'm gonna ask y'all this one. Okay. Oh, I didn't end the poll. The poll was still happening. Oops. But as we saw, the cell is the correct answer. So shout out to 22% of y'all who got that one. Okay. But you're right, Vernon, like that Gen Alpha. I need to throw in the rap. I need to throw in like, okay, 6'7's the big thing now, right? I need to throw in like we had 1738. I need to throw in what? 5'4". Is that cool? Like I don't know. They like Gen Alpha. Have you seen how crazy Gen Alpha has been going with the 6'7"? So I need to throw like a number in or like a cool catchphrase to the song. All right. So the question is, guys, what currency is used in Japan? So when we get to Japan, guys, because I don't know if you want to go, but like if you guys want to go, remember say when, not if. So when you get to Japan, guys, when we get to Japan, what currency are we using? Are we using the yen? Are we using the won? Or are we using the yan? What in the world? So when we go to 7-Eleven, when we get the nails done in Japan, what type of currency are they gonna be charging me in? I need to know what type of currency. What are y'all thinking? Type in the chat. Okay, what are we saying? Vernon said, yes, positive educational rap with Mia's image. She can pull it off. Okay, thank you, Vernon. I'm honestly, I'm serious. I'm gonna write like I'm gonna do it for fun. I'll write like a mini, I don't know, rap or song. I'll put some lyrics together, and then next time we have karaoke, I can probably like, what is it? Introduce y'all to, because my phone also has my phone has auto-tune on it a little bit, so there's an app that came with the new phone, so I'm gonna try and practice on that one and see. Kat said Will Smith made a lot of money with his rap career. How is it? How is that not a compliment? No, yeah. I didn't say it wasn't a compliment. Yeah, I'll take that. It's a brand of squeak clean rap. That's an audience for it. Yeah, and like, hey, like, didn't Will Smith's the actor, right? So he was an actor, he was a rapper, and then like all his kids sang for a little bit, and now he all quit, right? So yeah, that shows diversification. They do a little bit of everything. And then the Nepo babies, they just bored, so they just try everything, right? What are we saying? Hey, Albert, what's up? Glad you could be here. How are you doing, Albert? Okay, hey, how are you doing, Mela? Access more. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys more in a little bit. So most people said yen, so let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you guys are correct. 74. Somebody changed the answer last minute. 74% of y'all said yen is the currency that we use in Japan, or they use in Japan, and you would be correct. They said in Korea it's the won, and in China it's the yuan.
Yuan.
The yuan in China. Okay, let's do this one. Excuse me. So welcome everybody to this stream. This is trivia. Uniquely Mia live streams on Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As long as I do a stream from the house on Mondays, it's going to be trivia component to it. On Fridays, I live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As long as we're in the house on Fridays, we do manicures, right? Saturday and Sundays, live stream starts between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We generally go to the gym as long as it's not ridiculously cold, right? And if there's any day and time in which I cannot stream for you, you will be known. You will know before via community post. That's why you should like the video, subscribe, or your post notifications turn on. So this new question is, which ocean is the largest? Is it the Atlantic? Is it the Indian? Is it the Pacific? Or is it the Arctic Ocean? Now, from the name the Arctic Ocean, I don't ever want to be close to the Arctic Ocean because that thing is cold. Nope, not for me. Glad you're doing good today, Albert. I'm doing good as well. Drake said, I want to go just to see the 3D. Oh, yeah, Drake, the 3D billboards. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if it's in China or Japan, but I've heard about it. It looks really cool. And then they have these billboards as well. That's kind of like an illusion, right? So as you walk or as you look at it, it looks like it's coming down at you and it changes. Yeah, honestly, that's really cool. Mela said, see the documentary on National Geographic. I can't even talk. Geography. Which one? Which documentary about what? Did you say it earlier? Or did you want me to ask you questions about that? Kat said, I want to say do, okay, a do, right? But that's the old Japanese currency. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. It's interesting. Oh, because you watch a lot of old school anime. Wow, so that's nice. Like cartoons really do teach you something. I remember one time when I was younger, I went to the movies and I saw an animated movie just because that was the only thing that was shown. It was a religion animated movie. And when I tell you, it was a whole bunch of little kids in the theater. But I sat down, I was like, I love this movie. That movie was so good to me because like, and it taught you, because like my mom taught me the Bible stories, but when I saw that movie, I'm like, hey, that's real. Well, it's real because my mom told me it happened in the Bible for real, but I was like, hey, that's accurate. You just taught me something in a fun way. But then when you go to the adult movies, right, sometimes when they speak about Greek or religion or Greek mythology, right, they often add a whole bunch of like dramatize it, and they put a whole bunch of untruths, and I hate it, right? So when you look at Greek mythology or just like Christianity, religion, or Roman Empire, I'm a strong believer if you want to learn like kind of like the history, like the true history behind it according to the books, you gotta watch the kids version. I don't know why they do that. They tell the kids the truth in a cartoonish way, but then when you get older and they make the live action versions of it for people to watch, they add a whole bunch of drama and they're changing the storyline and it's so false. So yeah. What are we saying? Kat said, I'm not sure Pacific or Atlantic. It's your guess. Okay, nice. You have no idea. Okay, so you just want to say that. Okay, it's understandable. It's okay. We all want to say something sometimes. This is a safe space to do it as long as it's in a kind and respectful way, all right? Brandon said, I learned this in elementary school, but I forgot. It happens. But just make an educated guess. You can guess anonymously if you want, if you don't want to put your answer in the chat. Will Smith. Oh, you're saying Will Smith was on National Geographic. Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, oh, I didn't see that commercial. So 60% of y'all are correct. All right, so Vernon, you got it, and the other individuals, well, 5 people only voted, but 60% of y'all are right. It is this Pacific Ocean. I remember I saw a video the other day, guys, and somebody showed the back of Earth. Somebody posed the question, why don't airlines fly like behind Earth? Right? Because the way airlines travel now, they fly in front of Earth, because Earth has a back, because it's a circle. Right? So right now, anytime we go on the plane, no matter if you're traveling to like Texas, if you're traveling to Europe, if you're traveling to Africa, if you're traveling to Indonesia or Japan, we fly in the front of Earth, right? And sometimes, particularly if you're going to Africa or even like Thailand, it takes you like a day to get there. Literally, that's why people often have layovers, right? It takes you a day to get there. So people said if airlines fly behind Earth, it wouldn't take a day to get there, right? But the reason why airlines fly in front of Earth and never behind is because of land. There is no land behind Earth. There's only the Pacific Ocean. It's only water. So airlines fly in front of Earth even though it takes longer, because if an emergency happens and they need to land, you're closer to like land. You're closer to like a country, right? Or an island to get to safety. I never thought about that. Like I didn't even know Earth, like you know when you don't think about stuff, so I never even thought that Earth had a back, but it makes sense. And they showed a picture. Let me see if I can find a picture for y'all. But it's literally ocean. And you know what's also baffling too? People, because I went down the rabbit hole, as the saying goes, right? So then I was curious to know, so I was watching and people were saying, or people were posing the question, why is it just empty? Like, why is there just water? Why is there just no land behind Earth? Like, why is all the land in front of Earth, right? Because, like, that's a valid question. Why is all the land on one side? Why not behind, right? But then, what if I guess conspiracy theory me are coming out, right? But, like, what if, like, you know how we say, like, the lost empires of Atlantis and all that, right? What if that was, like, behind Earth, right? That'd be really cool. Like, it was behind Earth, so there was actually land there before, but like it sunk, or like they did something and God was like, annihilation to all of y'all, and it's gone. But let me find a picture of the back of Earth. I heard that on TikTok, Vernon. I heard that on TikTok, right? And they showed a picture of it, and so it was just conspiracy theories, right? But the person who did it, that's what happened. Because I can Google it right now. I heard it on TikTok. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, and it says right now with Google, note, mind you, Google's not a valid source of information, but it's just to get some quick knowledge. It says airlines do not travel behind the Earth. So yeah, let's see. Like the back of Earth where there's just the Pacific Ocean. They travel closer to the thing. But let's see. Let me get a picture. These are some old pictures. What's a good picture? Or over the Pacific Ocean is what I'm looking for. Okay. There's some terrible pictures, guys. Okay, this is a decent picture. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. Let me pull this up. Alright, it says Reddit. I hate Reddit. So, look. So, this is like where most of the countries are in this side. So, 9 times out of 10 when airline travel, according to the videos that I've seen, it can be incorrect, but just food for thought, have discussion, right? According to the videos, airlines only travel like mostly over the land. And yes, they'll travel over the water. Obviously, when you go to Europe, you travel over water. But you're still close to land. You're never going like immediately over the Pacific Ocean, like dead set in the center, particularly when you go to Africa, right? So this is the area. People said like if you travel from the United States to Africa, it would be so much quicker if you just travel over this large body of water right there, right? There's no greenery in the center area, no greenery here. But people said that doesn't happen because it's very dangerous, right? So it was an interesting theory. Drake said the dark side of the moon too. I want to see it. Oh, how would you see that? I mean, astronaut, you have to become an astronaut. Let's see. I heard of that too dark. No, Drake, Cat Evan said. Oh, thank you so much, Harrison. I didn't even see that. Jazz hands to you, Harrison. Thank you so much for sending a gift. I really appreciate your donation to the Uniquely Mia channel. You're helping me get one step closer to paying off my student loan debt. All income committed for social media goes in its own separate account. And one day you'll be right there with me paying a portion. Shout out to you, Harrison. How are you doing today? Wait a minute. Okay. That's borderline flat earthish. And you know what, Vernon? Most people in the comments of the TikTok video, they said that as well. They were like, that it's because the earth is flat, so that's why the idea doesn't make sense. And a lot of people said that too, right? So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if the earth is round. I don't know if the earth is flat. Like, because of education, because of scholarship and the condition and education I've been exposed to, I'm a strong believer that the earth is circular, that the earth is not flat, right? So, but at the end of the day, I've never been to outer space, right? Sometimes you know how you see to believe. That's like right now when we think about astronauts going to outer space and taking all these pictures, we're just believing that off of blind faith, right? Kind of like religion in a way, right? So we're just believing that. We've never seen it. I've never seen the planet with my eyes, right? From outer space point of view, right? So honestly, it's very interesting, but we can say, I guess people say the earth isn't flat because nobody has yet to like sail off and fall down into like the cliff or the center of the earth yet. But it's interesting. Drake said, yeah, they say that we never get to see the back of the moon. Oh yeah, okay. Because the earth rotation and pull, yeah, it's a good take too to bring up. So that's why he said you want to see the back of the moon. Imagine if it's just a face, right? Imagine you never see the back of something and it's just like a face looking at you. That'd be so scary. Like the moon has a face and it's actually blinking and looking at you. Kat said it's not flat earth because of the globe. You can the globe can show you this. Yeah. You're sweet and beautiful. Thank you so much for your kind words, Mela. Jake said the moon is always spinning and rotating with us, basically like two balls always facing each other. So in theory, we would never see the back of Earth either. That's a good take, yeah. If we were on the moon. Wow, that's interesting. Now I didn't think about that. That's interesting perspectives. Hey Raiders, it's been a while since you've been on a stream. How are you doing? Good to see you as well. Glad you're here. We are doing Monday trivia. So right now we're doing some common knowledge trivia. I'm actually about 2 more common knowledge trivia questions. I want to ask y'all questions that I haven't asked y'all before. Like for the most part, some of these questions are on a repeat. I need to find some new questions, guys. Oh, this one's a good one. I don't think I've asked y'all this one. Okay. Sometimes we dive deep into conspiracy theories. But it's just really funny how there's a part of Earth that has no planet, not planets, but there's a part of Earth that has like no land and it's just water. And it's crazy because, guys, planet Earth has more water than it does land. Like, that's basically a fact based on science. There's more water, ocean water, than land. And like, we cannot breathe underwater, right? We can't do that. So what's in the ocean? Like, that's crazy. And evolution's a real thing. So I guess in that idea, we can all, if you believe in evolution, we can say humans evolved to live on land, conspiracy theory, whatever. But like, I would not be surprised if scientists one day came out and said that, because how much water we have. What land has the most native speakers worldwide? Do you think it's English, Spanish, Mandarin, Chinese, or do you think it's Hindu? Or Hindi, as it says. Hindi? No, Hindi. Hindi, that's funny. It's Hindi, right? So, let me get the light back on. Okay, what are we saying, guys? Drake said the idea doesn't make sense because there's no front or back of Earth. Also, land mass or ocean doesn't affect distance. I mean, the front of Earth is the part with the land, because the Earth is a circle. So there's like, I get what you're saying, because a circle, like people say there's no beginning and end to a circle, right? But there's a facing forward circle, and then there's a facing back circle, right? So what people are saying is more so the facing forward circle is the part with the land, and the facing back circle, kind of as Drake said, is the part with the water. So yeah. Mela said, do you ever imagine why half the globe, and yeah, it's a good one. That's a good question, right? Well, we know that because of time zones, but that's a good question too, or statement. Do you ever imagine why half the globe is day and the other half is night? I mean, I don't really imagine that because I know it's because of time zones, and then as the circle, not the circle, but as the Earth spins, because the Earth is moving right now. Like, the Earth is spinning right now, but it's just moving. I think people said it's moving so fast we don't feel it, right? It's either so fast or so slow. I'm not a science person. I'm going back to like elementary school science, or videos that I've seen, but it's either moving really fast. I think if something moves fast, you don't feel it. So it's moving so fast we don't feel it, I think, right? So it's because of time zones mostly, right? Because just the sun and where the sun is shining. That's why. Kat said, when Mia said the back of the moon could be a face, my brain exploded. No, that's a funny conspiracy theory, right? Because like, as Drake said, we would never see it, kind of, right? So we don't know. It's like things are hidden from us, right? And like, if you believe in religion too, I guess these are where all these ideas emerge, kind of, or conspiracy theories emerge, because it's like this idea that like, yes, you do believe in higher power, but like, is it watching over you? Is it invisible? Is it actually visible? If it's visible, it could be right in our face, right? Would God make something so hard for us, right? I don't think so. I think they would put it right in front of our face, but they would also hide it, right? And make it difficult for us to attain and see it, right? So like, who knows? Could have, I don't know. Like, it's an interesting theory. It's an interesting, funny, and it's an interesting / funny conspiracy theory, I feel like. Raider said they're doing great. Glad you're doing great. You and your wife are expecting a child soon. Nice. Congratulations if you're happy about it. I mean, I hope you're happy about it. I mean, like, yeah, but congratulations. I've been doing good. Thank you so much for asking. How what's the weather like where you're at? Is it cold? Here in America, there's been a snowstorm, right? A winter snowstorm. Luckily, it should be ending today. I mean, it'll still be cold after today, but there's no like stay in place warning or anything like that. You think it's Mandarin chicken? Did I put Mandarin chicken in the chat? No, Cat's Mandarin chicken. Oh my god. Chinese. Okay, I think I froze. Let me see if I'm okay. Let's see if I'm back. Chinese. Okay, I think I froze. Let me see if I'm okay. Yeah, I'm back. Let me hear myself. Am I back? Why is my computer so slow? Yeah, I'm back. Okay. All right, so let me go through the comments, see what you guys are saying. Drake said it has to be a backside though. If the Earth is a globe, you think, oh, like a basketball, it's a front and back, north, south, yeah. Tony said, hey Tony, how are you doing today? Are you streaming from a closet? No, this is my room. Streaming from my room. I mean, I guess some people would say it's closet size, especially if you're from Texas, but in New York, this is standard. And yeah, I mean, like, I'll take this room. I like it, compared to my old room that I had. My old room was kind of like closet as well as my bedroom. So this is much better, right? Everybody's going in that room. So yeah, this one's much better. What are we saying? Terramama said, hello, will do. Vernon said, the planet is a sphere. Okay, that spins and rotates. There's no front or back or sides. Okay. Cool. Mela said, you're right. The sun is shining and the earth is rotating. It's in orbit. Nice. Yes, the trivia's still going. We're ending soon though, Evan. Do I have a question? Yeah, I think I have a question on. I'm about to end it and tell you guys the answer. But if you know the answer, put it in the poll. I'm trying to get through some comments. Evan said they just posted a new ring from Temu. Nice. I'm excited to see it. Drake said the Earth could be a living and breathing animal flying through the skies. It's basically a theory. That's why it's not hitting anything on its course. No, that's a good theory, but I think the Earth is a living thing, right? The Earth is a living thing, right? But I feel like I more so would say Earth is the mother, right? Even as my mom said, if you look at the Bible too, and how the Earth is shaped. My mom said the Earth is shaped like a womb, right? Like a female's stomach, and everyone inside the Earth is Earth's children, but in particular, it's nature. Like, how are things growing? Obviously, scientists will say this is how it's growing, right? But like, things actually grow from the Earth. Earth actually sustains life for us. Earth produces water. Earth produces the natural minerals, right? Animals, human animals, because we are animals, humans. We're a more intelligent form of animals, right? But humans, animals like what is it? Cats, dogs, wolves, lions, elephants, they all survive off of the Earth, right? So I do believe that Earth is like Mother Earth, right? So Earth is a living thing. We can see that as plain as day, in my opinion, right? But flying through the sky is definitely like a good funny theory for sure. I mean, I guess that's why no asteroids have hit us as of yet, right? Because as you said, Earth is like what is those cars? What, drifting? Or like, is that what you call it? Like Earth is like a getaway car for us, right? Earth is like, ooh, you ain't getting us today. So it's like, ooh, flying out of the way from the asteroids. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, y'all got that one. Majority of y'all got that one. Why didn't the poll pull up on my laptop? I don't want to scroll back to the. I don't want to scroll to the bottom of the on my phone because I'm gonna lose track of the conversation. But everybody who put Mandarin Chinese, you guys would be correct. Excuse me. So let's find another one. This is a good question. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Okay. So, what is the main ingredient for glass? What's the main ingredient for glass? So 49% of y'all said Mandarin Chinese has the most native speakers worldwide. You would be correct. People always say Spanish is a language to learn. I would caveat and say it's Chinese now. Learn all if you can, honestly. But what is the main ingredient in glass? Plastic, sand, or limestone? What are we thinking, guys? Kat said Vernon is right though. There's technically no front or back to a sphere, but humans have created such constructs to center humanity. So the front side is is where most humans live. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. And as I said when Vernon typed that, right? I said I understand what you're saying, right? Because like Earth has no beginning and end, or not an Earth, but like a circle, right? So I can understand that, right? I understand that, but like us as society have created this, so caveat the part with the land and then the part without all the land. So yeah, you guys made valid points too, honestly. Evan said Mia lives in a closet. Oh, how come we didn't get a room tour? I did a room tour when I first decorated the room, right? But you got the IKEA paintings right here. And then sitting on my bed, right? And then they got a closet over there. And then we got some decorations over there with the lamp. So that's basically it, honestly. My clothes are folded up. Most of it. I have books. I've got a lot of books. I can show you my books. I got a lot. That's been a lot of handbags. I think I did one before. What do we say? Evan said, I found a way to get away from toxic people. I will just need to read a book instead of getting angry. I think it works. Okay, nice. Evan said, cats, Cats, I do could do a giveaway. Okay, you're saying you could do a giveaway. Okay, cool. Whoever wins the trivia gets the ring. I know, but I haven't been keeping score. That's a smart move, Kevin. That's a smart move. Okay, Mela said sand. Vernon said sand. Okay, nice. Evan said sand. Drake's like, no, I don't know this one. Educated guess, or just make a random guess if you have to. But welcome everybody to the stream. Shout out to the people who've been on the stream for a while. Y'all know who you are. Thank you guys so much for your engagement and support. I really appreciate it. Shout out to the people who have purchased gifts and super chats for today's live stream. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to everyone who's on the stream today. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking time out of your day to be part of the Uniquely Mia channel, right? Thank you for making me part of your day. I hope it's a source of entertainment for y'all, de-stressor, and to motivate you guys continuously, always to be your true, authentic, and positive self, and for you guys to learn something new in a fun, educational way, right? And if you are not a subscriber already to the Uniquely Mia channel, consider liking the video and subscribing today. As I always say, I got a master's degree in criminal justice, public administration, and a bachelor's of science in psychology and professional writing. And on this channel, I got fashion videos, travel videos, manicure videos, hair videos, live streams, eat with me's, education, and a lot more, right? I'm essentially showing you what my life is like on social media and trying to make the world a little more positive. So yeah. If you guys have a question for me, comment, or concern, feel free to type it in the chat. What are we saying? Want to share an idea? Kat said sand because I remember watching Sandman when I was a kid. Nice. Honestly, I love that shows are like that. The shows stayed with you, and it taught you something. Honestly, those are the best shows. Honestly, Clifford the Big Red Dog. What did Clifford teach me? That Clifford was a big red dog, because the problems they used to solve was not that serious. And then Caillou was bad. Low-key, I used to get in trouble a lot when I was a kid sometimes. I feel like it was Caillou's fault. Like, I didn't get in trouble, but, like, say stuff that wasn't the nicest. I feel like it was Caillou's fault a little bit. Maybe my fault, too. I don't care, but, like, it was Caillou's fault a little bit, too. So let's end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty. So 63% of y'all said sand, and 63% of y'all would be correct. So sand is the main ingredient in making glass. You think about bringing my own sand to Apple, I would get a discount on the phone because I would be like sourcing them their product. How much sand you think it would take for me? How much sand do you think it would take for me to bring to Apple for me to get like a free Apple device? Sourcing their sand. That's interesting. How would you even do that though? Like obviously I feel like other ingredients, because they said it's the main ingredient, right? But like, look at sand. Sand you use to build houses, because like in Guyana you need sand to like mix the cement. You need sand to like fill in the grass or the water so like you can level out the land, right? Sand makes glass, like, which is used in phone, which is used in windows. It's crazy. Look at sand. Natural resources. Those natural resources too, right? Guyana should be a glass importer if they got a lot of sand. Or exporter. Yeah, they should be an exporter. They got a lot of sand there. I mean, they need to figure out how to make it first. Kat said, oh, I remember Emily Elizabeth and the Jamaican boy, LOL. Oh, I don't know that one. Vernon said, I learned that at elementary school also. It blows my mind that sand, dry dirt can turn to glass. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. You need to I need a sand factory, Kat. Okay, yeah. So no sand. No making glass, no free devices from Apple with that idea. Because the sand factory, that's a lot of money going in there. Jake said, how can you blow sand? I guess that, like, I know what you're saying, like, when glass, because I see people do it, they make the glass and they actually take a pipe and they blow into the pipe to structure the glass. I guess it's the same thing, right? So they said sand is the main ingredient, so I guess it mixes up with other thing. Sand has made islands in Dubai. Wow, yeah. No, that's valid. Like, I feel like that's a dangerous island, but yeah, because like when you go to Guyana with my mom, like sometimes the yard is like filled up with water where it's so bad sometimes, filled up with water. My mom, she pays money to get sand and she dumps it in the yard and that levels it. So as Kat said, in Dubai, sand has literally made islands. That's crazy. You know how much sand that took to put in that water? A lot, but like, They had to put cement over it or something too to make sure it doesn't reflood. They really had to impact, like, not, what is it? Secure that, right? Vernon said, I'm going to look up the process when you get a chance. Yeah, I'll be interested, yeah. Jake said, Evan said Drake is happy. We hear blah. Okay, cool. Hey Goku, how you doing, Goku? Black nail polish. I forgot, Goku. I forgot. I know I said that next time I do my manicure, I would do my manicure in black. I forgot, Goku. That one's on me. Let me write a note down. Next time I do my manicure, Goku, I'm gonna write it down so hopefully I remember to do black. I did not intentionally forget. I just literally forgot. Okay, do black nails next manicure. But how are you doing, Goku? Glad you could be here. Kat said Emily Elizabeth. Oh, it was the girl from Clifford. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't like all I remember. Did she wear a pink dress? Was she the one with the pink dress? But I remember Clifford, the big red dog, and I remember Caillou, the yellow shirt, the bald head, and like he was always not listening. Like Caillou was bad. He really was. Cam said, I'm back. Welcome back. What'd you do off stream? Ooh, you was cooking dinner. Nice. Thank you forever. Oh, because you're afraid of smudging nails? Yeah, that's me. Like, immediately, sometimes I'll paint my nails. Or, like, when I do the nail stream sometimes, after my mom's like, oh, you got dishes in the sink. And I'll just look at her like, you do know I just did my nails. You do know it takes, like, 2 hours for my nails to dry. You do know I will smudge my nails. I remember one time, immediately after I ended the stream, she was like, wash the dishes. Guys, I'll wash the dishes. I thought my nails were dry. Do you know everything got smudged? I think that's when I think that's like the day after. That's when I had a completely different nail color because like I could not. It literally gets smudged and you felt everything. It was so bad. So yeah, I understand being careful. You're great. You're graceful. Thank you so much for your kind words, Mela. Oh no. Well, you know, okay, Cam, how bad did you smudge it? You could add another layer on top. You could just take off the whole manicure, redo it, or that could be the part where you cover up the French tip if it's smudged terribly. And then sometimes, you know what, like people in society, like they're not looking at our nails critically. I feel like it's more, at least for me in my personal situation, when I sponge my nails, 9 times out of 10 when I have my nails on stream, because this is not perfect, this manicure is not perfect by any means, but if you look at it from this distance, I'm sure it looks great to y'all, right? No smudges, nothing, but like, sometimes when I look at it, I'm like, oh, my nail polish cracked. I don't know how it cracked. Oh, this isn't the best, right? So, I say that to say people in society, they don't look at our nails. They don't see all the imperfections, but at the end of the day, I do my nails for moi. And because you guys like it, right? But I do the nails and I want it perfect for me because I'm looking at it critically. But yeah. Okay, what are we saying? Kat said, I don't think that stuff is just sand though. It's sand other glass stuff. Yeah, I think they mix it with other stuff too. Hey D7J, how are you doing today? Hey Climb, glad you could be here. Kat said, I didn't even see that comment. OMG, Evan, why'd you say that? What did Evan say? What'd you cook, Cam? Hey Real, how are you doing, Real Twins? Queen Mother did a different hairstyle for me. This is what happens. We'll have a different hairstyle by next week. By the next stream on Friday. I might do a spontaneous stream for you guys before Friday, but I like this hairstyle, but I kind of don't. It's kind of big. Like it's bulky. It's interesting. Perhaps we'll bring something similar to this back in the future. Do it again in the future, but I'm a big person. I don't like hair in my face, right? I don't like hair in my face and like it falls in my face. And then you got to be careful because, like, the curls are kind of turning puffy now, right? So, yeah, that's why I like braids. Honestly, regular, smegular braids out of my face. You can leave it in your hair for a long time and it'll look presentable. Cam said, ooh, okay, you cooked lean ground turkey tacos with reduced fat. Okay, nice. Sounds healthy. Okay, shredded cheese and a carb advantage, a crab, okay. Wow. Carb advantage nacho cheese. Okay. Hard gels. Wow. El Paso with broccoli on the side. Nice. Sounds good. Vernon said. So, a mirror is a glass, right? Yeah. I feel like it is a mirror. Yeah. See, yeah, glass with a reflected one. Yeah. That's a good question. How are mirrors made? That's a good question. How? I think it's a sticker. A reflective sticker? Okay, mirrors are primarily made by applying a highly reflective metal coating, wow, usually aluminum, wow, or silver to the back of a glass, okay, in the process called silvering. Interesting. So they add like a reflective thing. That's a good question. Yeah. Happy Monday, D7J. D7 J. Drake said, Cam, stop copying me. I literally said I'm making tacos tonight. Really? Wow. Okay, so you guys are twinning with the meals. Yeah, I like braids. 206. Okay, Mela said, I'm living on the other corner of the globe and our women have to cook. Oh. Well, if your females have no choice but to cook because the man don't want to do it, I feel sad for those females, but that's part of your culture, I guess. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you got no choice but to do it. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, though. Very interested. Very interested. Where are you from? But glad you could share that. Welcome to the community. I'm Uniquely Via, also known as Via, right? If you'd like to see what's it like here in the US of A, right? And what females can do by choice, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and immerse yourself into the Uniquely Via channel, right? Vernon said, very interested, I never knew that. Yeah, I never knew that. That was a good question. Hey, Real. Hey, Mia, you're so much cooler than the person in your chat. Do you realize that? Huh? Are you saying I'm cooler than everybody in the chat? I mean, I want to say that. I don't think I'm cooler than anybody. I mean, I don't think I'm better than anyone. It depends on who, but I don't think I'm better than you guys as my supporters, right? Praising the language. I don't think I'm better than the supporters, right? I may be more knowledgeable about certain things, right? Or more expressive, right? But cooler. I'll take that as a compliment, right? I'll take that as a compliment because that's your opinion of me. Thank you for that. But yeah, I feel like everybody has their own form of coolness. Similar to how everybody is unique in their own way. Everybody has their own form of coolness for sure. What are you saying? Hey, Mr. Universe. That's cool. How did you get your username to be green? That's really cool. Glad you could be here, Mr. Oh, you got membership on the channel. That's how. Oh, wow. Cool. Shout out to you, Mr. Universe, for getting membership on YouTube. So I will make some videos member only, right? Or members have early access to some of my videos. So stay tuned for that. I have a lot of videos that's scheduled, but they have to be released at a certain date, guys. Otherwise, the YouTube algorithm won't push them out to y'all. So shout out to you, Mr. Universe, for getting YouTube membership. You have early access to videos with the YouTube membership on YouTube for Uniquely Mia. I think you also have some member-only videos as well. Let me go to the membership and see what your perks are. Well, it ain't coming up now. Okay, so yeah, you get members-only videos, you get members-only posts, priority response to comments, early access to new videos, and member-only shout-outs with the membership on YouTube. So shout out to you, Miss Universe, for getting that. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of videos coming your way. How are you doing today? Thanks for considering or getting membership. Glad you could be here. Today was trivia on the live stream, so we did some bio questions, some common knowledge questions, pop culture questions, winter storm questions, and I think something else, guys, but I forgot. So yeah, it was definitely a lengthy discussion for sure. I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much for asking. Was it cold where you are at today, or was it more so hot? Real said, what in your opinion is the least attractive accent? What accent do I like the least? I haven't heard all the accents, honestly. I mean, an uneducated accent, probably. People who are not knowledgeable, right? I feel like that's it. And an accent's not necessarily uneducated, right? When I say that, I mean if somebody's talking to me and they're just saying a whole bunch of, like, uneducated stuff to me, right? Or just a whole bunch of untruths or a whole bunch of discriminatory things. That would definitely be the accent that is down below, honestly. Yeah. Cam said, didn't exercise today, I will admit. It's way too cold for all that. Yeah, it's really cold outside. I think the gym will be okay with us. The gym's gonna give us some slack, but next week, or this coming weekend, right? It's going to be like, oh, you didn't come to the gym. You missed out on 2 days or 3 days or how many days you missed out on, right? And we'll probably be feeling it a little bit more, right? Don't worry, Mr. Universe. Yes, you did miss it. As always, you were missed in addition to all of Uniquely Mia supporters who weren't able to be on today's live stream for the trivia. But fear not, if you want to rewatch the stream and answer some trivia question, I mean, the answer's a little already given to you, but if you want to be honest, right, as you go through, you can rewatch it and type the answers in the comment section of the live stream as you go through it. Or if your opinions on the live stream, we spoke about a little bit of conspiracy theories, right? So if you want to share your opinions on that, feel free to do that, right? But fear not, I'll be back with another trivia. I do trivia on Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So yeah. Hey, how are you doing, Rice? Glad you could be here. Brandon said, I like the Philly accent. I don't think I've ever heard somebody with a Philadelphia accent. It's annoying and funny at the same time. No, that's so funny. An accent that's annoying and funny at the same time. That's funny. Yeah, but I haven't heard all the accents. I mean, from watching movies, I've heard British accents. From watching movies, I've heard Louisiana accents. My mom says she really loves Australian accents. She said that's her favorite accent that she's heard. I feel like I've heard Australian accents. Hello, mate. I'm so sorry if you're from Australia. That was so bad. I apologize. Stereotypes, don't do that. Me, don't rely on stereotypes. But yeah, I feel like that's an Australian accent for some reason. But can we Google that? Different accents. I don't think I'll get copyrighted for the accents, right? Let's see. Okay.
And since they always blind.
There's this girl on YouTube, she's doing the different accents.
So send vocal energy forward and drop your R sound. So instead of car, they say car.
Oh, I want an in-your-face video. I don't know. We're not gonna look into it because they're talking too much. Not talking too much, but like they're talking too long and needs to be straight in your face.
So you want to learn about American accents that you might have heard about to the USA. And for sure, I'm going to teach you how. Now, you know, there are a few accents from the greatest city.
It's supposed to be New York.
New York, the Big Apple. Now, there are a few myths about the New York accent.
That's like stereotypical, though. That's New York.
Such a thing even exists because different ethnic communities have all
okay, that's smart. You said that.
Far. It is dry. Ends with a.
Yeah, they keep talking a lot. So that's something I would have to do independently, watch those videos, right? But like I said, in New York, the New York stereotypical accent, I feel like Stu doesn't sound like that. And I feel like if somebody had it, he would have it because like he grew up in New York. So he would have it. He just sounds normal to me. Nah, like maybe he has an accent. I feel like I hear the accent more so my sister. Like when Bianca talks, you can hear. I guess she grew up around people, or not grew up, but she hanged out around people who I guess typical New York accent, because sometimes in the back of my head, you sound like you from New York. I'll think in the back of my head with Bianca. So yeah, but yeah, I have to like take a deep dive. I just got to travel everywhere in the world. So yeah, when I travel everywhere in the world, guys, into all the countries, into all the U.S. states, come back to me, and I'll let you know, right? Or as I travel to those places in the world, just ask me while I'm there, right? To like tell you what I would rate this accent, and I'll do it. So I just gotta get to everywhere in the world, and we do that to get the accent for y'all. My opinion on that. Okay, you are wholesome. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'll take that as a compliment, I think. Brennan said, Memphis, Philly, and Baltimore have the most unique accents to me. Okay, cool. I don't think honestly, I don't think I've heard an accent from any of those people. Yeah, I'm gonna watch them. If I remember, I will look at some YouTube videos. Because even when I went to Philadelphia, like I heard people from Philadelphia talk, but they just sounded normal. Then again, I guess we took a lot of Ubers that just went to like tourist area places, and normally they have like transplants in those areas, right? So yeah. Brandon said only half of New York have New York accents. New York women have stronger accents. New York men. Yeah, I can see that. And you know something else I heard? I don't know if it's true, but I just heard somebody say it who's from that area. People said Long Island. They said when you think about the New York accent, you think about the Long Island accent. And like I heard somebody from Long Island talk before, and I'm like, yeah, I think about your accent when I hear you talk, right? Obviously they probably were pushed because historically I feel like it's Caucasians who lived in Long Island. And I can say that without doing the research, because if you look at trains, right? Even when they, like the guy who was building like the MTA subway trains for New York, right? Back in the day, I don't know if MTA was a thing, but the guy who's building the original subway plans for New York, he was racist. So he only put subways, like trains, in low income areas where they had black people, right? And when you go to Long Island, there ain't no trains in Long Island. They got buses. Buses was a later introduction to make transportation more accessible. That's why there's no trains that takes you directly to an airport. You got to take a taxi or a bus to the airport. There's no trains because they didn't want low income people who were predominantly more to have access to get to airports easily, because airports were for the rich people. So yeah, so I guess the reason why Long Island accent is a stereotypical New York accent, because historically Long Island is a white area in New York, right? And the white people are always pushed. So yeah. What are we saying? Mr. Universe said Stu could if he wanted. Yeah, I feel like he could if he wanted, like, to imitate the New York accent, but he doesn't need to do that, I feel like, because he has a New York accent, right? Because he's from New York, right? He's born in New York, he grew up in New York, so he doesn't need to do that. So he has a New York accent, but the stereotypical New York accent is for people who grew up in that area, who's mostly white. Okay, hey, bright. So yeah, that's why. Brad Chinese. Oh, okay. Mela said, what do you think about iShield Speed? Very, very cool. What he's doing, like, very cool opportunity. He's traveling the world and he's streaming. That's really amazing, right? So yeah, he's traveling the world, he's streaming, and he's making millions off of it. Shout out to him, and that's great. One day, maybe that'll be Unique Lumiere, right? So yeah. What are we saying? Blow my mind when people talking about racism these days. That was basically gone when I was a kid. I disagree with you. Depending on where did you grow up? I know if you grew up in America, I know that racism was not gone when you were a kid. If you grew up in America, I know that's not true. Thank you, Anthony Johnson, for sending a makeup brush gift. Jazz hands to you. You're helping me get one step closer to paying off my student loan debt. I really, really appreciate your donation. Thank you so much for that, Anthony Johnson. How are you doing today? But yeah, if you grew up in America, racism was not gone when you were a kid. It really wasn't, right? But if I spoke to my grandfather recently, if you grew up outside of the United States, racism existed, but you probably didn't know the definition of racism, or it wasn't how it, or you just didn't see it as racism, right? But at least in America, it was not gone, because it's not just going to come back, right? If something is gone, there'll be like a small inkling of it still, but people still wouldn't be talked about as it is in society today, right? And if you look at modern day America and what's happening, right, that's how you know it never truly went away. The problem was never addressed, right? So what's happening now, when you look at the media and all this stuff about what's happening, people talk about racism and all this, and just minorities talking about it and the way they're talking about how it's affecting them, right? You can see it, the unfairness, right, with the different things and the systemic racism. It is affecting us now, and we are talking about it more now, because when it should have been addressed, it was never addressed. Like, yeah, we got the 64. Shout out to that. We love that. Shout out to the activists who came before, who passed for that act and who advocated the equal opportunity of minorities, right? However, you got one win, and it was like, oh, you were given like pennies, and then you didn't engage in more activism for a little bit, right? Or if you did engage in activism, you weren't hardcore with it. So now with the media in 2026, right, we got the media, we got all this, it's coming back, right? So it was never truly addressed. So yeah, it's being addressed now, hopefully. What are we saying? Hey, how are you doing, Brad? Okay, what are we saying? Brandon said, I don't hear my accent, but others do. Yeah, that happens too. Yeah, that can happen too. It's like with me, right? Sometimes, like, I didn't notice that because even some of you guys supporters would be like, Mia, you say this like with a New York accent. I always tell you, I think I conditioned myself to say certain words with a New York accent growing up, because I feel like I wasn't jealous, but I guess younger Unique Lumiere was kind of peeped that, like, I don't know, my sister or my cousins, they would say stuff in a cool New York way, and I didn't have one. So I feel like I conditioned myself to say certain words certain way, and I can see it now, because I'm like, I say this way now. I never said it before when I was younger. I know that for sure, right? So I kind of faked my accent until it became natural for me, is what I'm saying, right? But I say all that to say is, like, you don't notice you have this accent until somebody else points it out for you, because it just becomes your norm, right? And how you talk and how you say stuff. Hey Haywood, how are you doing today? Just chilling? Okay, cool. Stay warm. Why are you trying to be white? What are you talking about? How in the world am I trying to be white? Caucasians, you're trying to claim this. What? Oh my god. Never, I'm not responding to that. Miss Universe said they were also unalive like MLK and Malcolm X. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting what the civil rights activists did, because they did a lot, right? People who came before my generation, when it comes to advocating for minorities in the United States, they did a lot. Shout out to them. I'm not particularly speaking for them. I guess I'm just speaking for, I don't know, my mom's generation a little bit. Those are the people, right? My sister's generation a little bit, right? Because I'm sure they had their own form of activism, but at the same time, where's the history for that? Like, I'm sure they had it, but it wasn't as much as they should have. I'm not should have done, but it wasn't as much as they could have done, possibly, because if you have a hardcore act doing all this stuff, because if something were, because you can see it in the media. I'm not pointing fingers to politics and all that, but like, if you look at the media, guys, you can see that there is like racism and racist belief and a racist rhetoric that exists in society. You can see that in modern day America. That did not fall out of nowhere, right? People believed in that. There's a reason why they're so prominent now in society. People believed in it, but they just didn't show it. And when somebody emerged who's like, oh, we're going to push your idea, it's here for you, and they latched onto it, right? That shows the problem was never truly addressed. People like pushed it to the side. It's like systemic racism a little bit, right? Like systemic racism for a while, especially in the early days with affirmative action that existed. That was a way to address that systemic racism, right? So affirmative action was passed, and that allowed federal workers to get into the workplace a little bit more easily, right? Not easier, because Black employees, white employees, white female employees, right? Hispanic employees, you still had to be educated. You had to have what you have, particularly when we're looking at Black people. But what affirmative action did for people trying to, of minority backgrounds, to get into the federal employment, it gave preference to them, like veterans preference. If you serve in the military and you apply for federal employment, you're more likely to be picked over somebody not in the military. So that's what affirmative action did in the early days. However, when an Asian student didn't get into Harvard, they decided to sue Harvard, saying discrimination via affirmative action, and affirmative action was taken away. It was an Asian that sued, not even a Black person that sued, all right? And affirmative action, after it benefited like the increasing and allowing Black individuals to get into federal employment, it started to benefit white Caucasian women more, all right? You should know that, because there's a stereotype saying it only benefit Black people. That is not true, right? But now that affirmative action is no longer here, that topic of that systemic racism is coming back up a little bit, right? And you're seeing how it's truly impacting people a lot more a little bit, right? Because you see, it's truly not fair. They had this law, but then they took away the law, and now look what's happening now, right? That shows the problem was never truly addressed, right? And it's just because the way, and if we're looking at it from a public administration standpoint, a little bit of education, and from a history standpoint, as I always say, America's a white country. America, the 13 colonists, the people who formed the Constitution, it was white men who formed the Constitution. They formed it for them, right? So that's why feminist movements, feminist advocates, it was very important, because that advocacy allowed females to get in there, right? And then minorities also had to do their own form of like advocacy to enter into certain spaces. However, it's not perfect, right? So you do need to constantly engage in that advocacy for change to occur. And yeah, that's why 9 times out of 10, Black people, like African American individuals, minority individuals, if they have a particular position, they're going to be the smartest in the room. They're going to have the most degrees, right? 9 times out of 10, when I achieve my forever job, I will probably be the most educated in the room, right? I would probably have the most degrees in the room. And if I'm not, I have to work 10 times as hard to get in there compared to my white counterparts, because it's a white country. It's built in hate, discrimination, and racist rhetoric. But it's changing slowly but surely, which is great. So yeah. What are we saying? Melis said, you're a woman with a conscience. What do you mean by that? But hey, Mr. Universe, right? Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed that form of education, guys. A little bit of history thrown in there. As always, I try to educate y'all when I can and share some public administration knowledge, right? But yeah, always do your research and your due diligence. Just do your research, right? So yeah, there's lots of ways that people engage, receive favoritism in society and things like that. So yeah, Miss Universe said Mia for president. As I said, one day I'll run for president. If I win, I have no idea, right? Probably. I don't want to say probably not, but I have no idea. But I'm a U.S. citizen. I have the degrees to do it. And I just run. If I don't, maybe even for fun, I'll just run, see what it takes to qualify for it. And if you're a U.S. citizen, vote for Unique Lamia by that time. Hey, Stray Kids. So if anybody has any other comments, questions, or concern, type in the chat for me. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. All right. So thank you, Miss Universe. Thank you, Stray Kids. Thank you, Love Positive. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, Gigi Cat. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Vernon. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Drake. Thank you, D7J. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Gigi Cat. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, what's your name? Real Twins. Thank you for being here. Who else was here? I always try to shout everybody out, but like when I shout you guys out, I realize how many of y'all were on. It's hard. Hey, Climb. Thank you for being here, Climb. Thank you. Goku. Who else was here? Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Braiders. Thank you, Rachel. I know I didn't shout out everyone, but thank you everybody for being on today's live stream. It's always a pleasure when I can stream for you. Yeah, what's your question for me, Stray Kids? I can answer it if I'm able and comfortable to do so before I leave. And I may do a spontaneous stream before Friday for you guys. Will I? No, I will not. I don't think I will. But what I'll do on Friday, I'll probably stream earlier in the day, right? On Friday. And I'll still do that 4 p.m. streams on Friday. You'll get multiple streams from me, right? So, thank you as always, guys, for making the Unique Lamia channel part of your day. And always a pleasure when I can stream for you guys and hopefully be a source of entertainment, aid in reminding you to always stay positive and help in that de-stress for you guys, right? If you have to go outside tomorrow or any day in the week, later in the week, stay warm, all right? If you are from a cold state, right? New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, all the places where snow fell and it's completely cold, guys. Layer up when you go outside and stay warm. All right, Stray Kids, you got your question? Type it in the chat, Stray Kids. I'll give you like 10 seconds. See if you type it within 10 seconds. If not, I'm going to go and end the stream, but remember, I'm Unique Lamia, also known as Mia. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, Professional Writing, and Master's degrees in Public Administration and Criminal Justice, and you're welcome on the channel for your positivity and uniqueness, all right? So I also have a coloring book, called Unique Lamia's Coloring Book, which is available for y'all to purchase on Amazon. To find your coloring book, go to my YouTube homepage, click links, and a link will take you directly to Amazon. All right, all proceeds made off of my coloring book. You guys purchase my coloring book, and off of social media goes directly to paying off my student loan debt. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Stay positive, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching.